Can you hear me now? Hello, Ave. Can you hear me now? There's a lag, so I've got to wait. I should probably have to chop that out later. This is the problem with lag. You're sitting there talking to yourself, going on and on and on, and then somebody comes in and says, oh, I can't hear you. You can hear me now. Excellent. Okay. So, as I was saying, I was just wittering actually because, as I said, there's lag. So at the moment, I mean, I know that there's 2 people in. I can see them in chat, but I can't. It's still saying that there's nobody watching. So my analytics are behind, and you're behind me, and I'm behind you, and it's all very confusing. So the first 5 minutes of any live stream is basically waffling to yourself, waiting to see if there's anybody there. So, yes, I was just sitting here doing a few bits and pieces and playing and sorting out some stuff that I picked up over the last couple of days. I've been out and done some thrifting and some back to school shopping and bits and pieces like that. Not planner stuff, it's all art stuff, but you could of course use it in your planner if you wanted to. And I thought, well, instead of sitting here making a mess all on my own, it's lunchtime on a Saturday. It's lunchtime on a Saturday. Yeah, I don't sing. Now you know why. Oh, it's lunchtime on a Saturday. There's got to be a few people sitting around not doing anything. So hopefully there's a few of my Aussie girls. And Mitts, if anybody sees Mitts around, tell her I'm live. She wanted to, well, I said I would stream at some point when I thought she might be around. So being a young mum, or not, well, she is young, but being a mum of a young baby at the moment, I suspect it's being a Saturday night for her. She's probably not out on the town. So she might be sitting at home wanting to come and join us. So if you see Mitts, tell her I'm live. Because I did promise her I would do it at some point when Australia and Japan could be here. I suspect it's a little bit late for Australia, but New Zealand and Japan should be in range, I think. Anyway, yes, I bought some bits and pieces in the thrift shop. Nothing exciting. I bought some new curtains because the flat has curtains. Well, it has curtains at the front, but they're light. They're very thin. They're like summer curtains. And I've got street lamps right outside my window, and I can't sleep with a light on. I can't even have anything charging in my room that the light is showing. It's got to be turned off or taped over. I've got bits of washi tape stuck over all sorts of bits and pieces. 7:30 on the Australian west coast. West coast. Never eat shredded wheat. That's that side. So is that Sydney? I don't know. My geography's not great. I know where Australia is. You should be impressed by that. Although I didn't know where California was the other day. Don't even go there. Yes, so I'm sitting here making a mess, and I thought, let's make a mess with everybody. Sydney's east. Well, I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right, didn't I? So if Sydney is east, does that mean it's Adelaide? Dee Dee! Hi! Anyway. Hello! Hello! Oh, lots of people playing. Excellent. Do use the share button to tweet out, because I have, tweet, share on Facebook, whatever. I'm not doing these at regular times, so I don't have a set audience. It's not like, hi Michelle, it's not like a lot of you streamers, that you know what time they go live, because they organise what time they're going to go live every week. I have subscribers all over the world, and I like to interact with different people all the time, or I get bored, frankly. So I'm trying to do different times of day throughout the week. So I did one very late the other day, I did one early the other day, now it's midday, and I like to keep a rotation going. So I kind of rely on you guys who are here and live and watching and joining in the chat to southeast. Right, what the hell is on the east coast of Australia then? Because I don't know. The only other place I know is Brisbane, and I have no idea where that is. I don't do the blue cheesy bits, okay? My speciality was the brown and the pink. Oh, yes. So, as I was saying, if you can share to let your friends and my other subscribers, etc., know that I'm live, that would be fantastic, because obviously I can't sit here and do it, or you're all going to be very bored. 80% of the population is on the west coast of Australia. Okay then. I've no idea. I've got a very tenuous grasp of my own country's general geography. Sydney is east. Yeah, I know that now. 2 of the only 3 places I know in Australia are all on the east coast, so I don't know what's on the on the west coast. Okay, let's get some doing things going on. What did I pick up? Oh, I've got to move some stuff off onto the desk, or we're going to have. I've been watching Dee Dee Willingham. I've only just discovered her. How did I not know about Dee Dee? Yeah, Dee Dee Willingham. I've been watching her on YouTube. She's a live streamer, Ustreamer, but she puts her Ustreams on YouTube. Yeah, I've only just discovered her, and I've been watching her stuff. She does steampunk art and art journaling and all sorts of fun stuff, and she's very inspirational. I really like her. Where was I going with that? I don't know. I've been watching her. I've been watching her. Am I doing Vlogtober? No, I'm not doing Vlogtober this year. I've got nothing happening particularly in October. I mean, it's the 3rd, and I've been. Thursday I went to the dentist, and I went thrifting, which I'm about to show you. Yesterday was date night, and I did a little bit of shopping while I was in town, but it was all house stuff, it wasn't art stuff. And today I've got up, taken the puppies over the park in the fog, had some breakfast, and made a coffee. That's it. That's my 3 days. That's my vlog for 3 days. So, yeah, not a lot happening. So no, I'm not doing Vlogtober. I'm kind of hoping to do these quite regularly instead of Vlogtober, because I like the live thing. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed doing live shows, but now I've got a camera that works. Yay! Okay, first thing, do you remember I showed you these the other day? These are the Chalkola pens. They are chalk markers. Wipeable, washable chalk markers by Chalkola. I was sent a set to review. So these are specifically, they said, can you have a play with these? Do us a video, give us an honest review. So that's what you're going to get. But I'm not going to do them live. I'm going to do them as a proper video. Because it's easier to edit and it's a bit more professional. So if they want to share the video, then they can. But I don't have anything to do chalking on, because it's got to be on a non-porous surface. I do want to have a play and see if I can use it on various different surfaces that I've prepped in advance with different things, but obviously the first thing I'm going to need is chalkboard. By the way, if you want to ask me a question, or you do anything that I need to see, or if something goes horribly wrong, can you put it in caps, please? Not just general chat, but caps for questions and things for me. I've got something else here that I can't find now. Hang on a minute. Oh, I know where I was going with that thing. Yeah, I was watching Dee Dee Willingham. I keep saying Williams. It's not Williams, it's Willingham. I was watching Dee Dee Willingham earlier, and she went to move something on her desk, and she went, there was a big crash, and she went, ooh, craft a lunch. And that's what's happening over here right now. I love that phrase, craft a lunch. There's going to be a big crash if I move too much about. Okay, so for the Chalkola markers, which I will put down there, I picked up in the works these luggage tags. They are blackboard luggage tags. I want to go that side, don't I? There we go. Blackboard luggage tags. They're kind of shiny. I know they're in plastic, but they are kind of shiny. But aren't they very Halloween-y? Huh? I thought these would be fun to do Halloween stuff with. I mean, I'm not a big tag lover, but I just wanted something to play with that I could use the Chalkola markers on. And there's lots of different colours and neons and things like that. So these are, there's the thing. They were £1 in the works. Oh, if I do it down there, that's a bit easier. £1 in the works. And also in the works, this was, it actually has a sticker on that says, whoops, £2.99. I can't get used to these Mac cameras, they're all backwards. £2.99, but when I took it up to the till, it was on clearance, so it was only £1, which is pretty cool. I wish I'd picked up some of the little ones, because the little ones were only £1 to begin with. They're probably like 25p. But this is a slate, like Welsh slate, hot, with a hanger. Now, I'm not cutesy, but don't you think that would just be adorable to hang in your kitchen or your bedroom? Maybe you could put it with, I like inspirational quotes, or to just write a word that I want, an intention word for the day. Or, you know, even in your witchcraft corner, you know, hang it up with a word for intention for a spell or something like that. Anything you want. Maybe if you've got kids, you could do, you know, dinner tonight. Put what's on for dinner or lunch or whatever you're making. I just think it would be so fun. Could spend a fortune in the works. Oh God, yeah. Oh, give me $200. It'd take me £200. It would take me about 15 minutes, and I'd probably go over. Yeah, they just have so much stuff. But I thought this was really cool, so I'll play with that with the Chalkola markers, but I'll do a proper video for it. I'm going to move these so they don't get broken. Because is it not obvious that that slate is going to end up on the floor at some point if I don't move it? It is, isn't it? What else? Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is switch camera views so you can see the desk. So here you go. The magic of television, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why am I all at a funny angle? What's going on here? That's not straight. Okay, sorry for making you seasick. I'm just trying to get my camera's done something weird. Oh, here we go. I keep forgetting this silly thing is on a pivot. Hang on a second while I sort the camera out. Sorry. Look away, look away. Look away, keep looking away. Especially if you've got vertigo. Oh, it's going to have to stay like that now. Because it's gone all weird. Look away, keep looking away. Don't open your eyes yet. I'm just going to refocus it. Keep looking away, keep looking away. There we go. It's a bit of lag, so it's taken me a little moment to... I had already set this up and then somehow it's fallen out of place again. Don't know what's going on there. Look away. Stay looking away. Don't open your eyes yet. I haven't told you to open your eyes, have I? Okay, now you can open your eyes. Sorry about that. I had to do some jiggery pokery there to get the camera right. I must have knocked it when I was getting something out earlier. Anyway, thrifting. I picked up lots of things in the thrift shop. One of the things I picked up was some heavyweight curtains for the flat because it's coming up to winter and the curtains I've got at the moment are summer weight, so they're not keeping out the daylight, they're not keeping out the cold. I mean, I've got double glazing, but it helps to have a barrier between, even with double glazing. So, and one of the things I picked up was this. It's Treasures from the National Trust, so it's like stately homes and stuff, our lovely stately homes from the UK. It's a nice big square picture book type thing. I will almost certainly pull that dust cover off because it's annoying me already. But it's not a keep book, okay? It's a... Oh, that teapot's cool. Okay, I might use that. It's not a keep book. I bought this for 50p in a charity shop specifically to chop up for collage because, yeah, it's got some mould on it, which is why I... Not mould, stains on it. But look at all this. Isn't this amazing? I flipped through it. I just went like that, and everything I saw, I was like, oh my god, I could use that in collage. Isn't this just oh, I could so use that. So it's got all these different sections. It's got arms and armour, books and book illustrations, ceramics, clocks and barometers, costume, furniture and woodwork, glass, gold and silver, jewellery, lighting, metalwork, miniatures, mosaics and pietra dura, music instruments, natural history and geology, paintings, photography, sculpture, stained glass, textiles, toys, transport and the credits. So in the credits it'll tell me where everything's from as well. But it's got, I mean, it's even got, like, look at this big tortoise. It's a stuffed tortoise. It's a taxidermied tortoise. I'm not going to go through the whole book. I just want to show you some of the really cool things in here. I mean, like her, she would be awesome for collage. Look at this stuff, isn't it amazing? How could you not want to use this for collage? I mean, I'll have a flip through it as well and see, you know, because there's always interesting stuff. So I'll have a quick flip through and read of it first. But, you know, once I've done that, that's it. I'm not interested in keeping the book. So I might as well chop it up. Look at all these designs, these mosaics. Old metalwork, locks, chandeliers. Look at all these. Now this ties into a project because all of these little... Look at these little Fabergé bugs. Oh! Now this ties into the Gothic theme that I will be talking about later because October, hello. Silverware, it's one of my favourites. I love silverware, not so keen on goldware, but silverware. Ooh, crystal, glass, pottery. Oh, it's just amazing. Wood furniture, huge fan of wood furniture. Look at that. Look at this, isn't it amazing? How cool would that be in a collage with like books piled up and things poking out the drawers? And it's actually bright red. It doesn't show up on camera, but it's bright, bright, bright red. It's like cherry tomato red. Tapestries. Oh, clocks. Clocks, clocks, clocks. Clocks, clocks. Oh, isn't it amazing? 50p. 50p. For those of you who don't understand English currency, that's about $1.20, US $1.20 maybe, or it could be the other way around. It could be 80 cents. No, I think it's $1.20. Yeah, very cool. So that's going to be cut up for collage. Further to my current thing, once I start watching somebody on YouTube, I see their ideas and I think, oh, not I want to do the same as them. I want to do something similar. So I was naughty and I bought myself a treat because I don't buy myself treats very often. But I've been wondering about this for a while. I had a few people asking me about it. I've seen Dee Dee using hers and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get one. And after 3 days of searching the internet for one that didn't cost a fortune, because I don't know why, but they are really hard to get hold of here for any decent amount of money, i.e. less than 20 quid, I finally tracked this down on Amazon on, I think it's from Book Depository. Yeah, it's from Book Depository. They had it for £16 plus postage, so it was actually about £18.50. But I can claim the postage back because this is for work, for you lot. Woohoo! Can anybody guess what it is before I open it? Can you guess? Tell me if you think you know what it is. I'll catch up on chat while you're doing that. Vlogtober. Technically the 4th already. Oh, are you in Australia? You love DD too? Yeah. It's so weird because like everybody that I follow and I really love watching, like Claire and Darcy UK and Pacadai and all that lot, they're all in her Ustream. They all know her. And yet I've never heard of her before. I've never come across her. And it's thanks to somebody, I think it might have been Pacadai actually, pinned one of her steampunk pages on Pinterest. And I saw it and I was like, oh, you know me and steampunk. I mean, hello goth. I was blown away. I could not believe it. Of course, then I found out it wasn't actually her drawing. It was one she'd got from a colouring book. However, her drawings are amazing as well. So I was like, wow, I like this. Now, as Eve is quite correctly saying, I'm not a messy person. I don't like messy. I don't like getting my hands dirty. I've got ink all over my hand this morning. It's driving me crazy. And the only reason I haven't taken some nail polish remover to it is because I've just done my nails this morning. But they've all chipped off already. So, yeah, as soon as I'm done here, I'll be going and getting rid of that with some nail polish remover because I cannot stand having dirty hands. My nails get dirty, and that's okay. And I get ink on my hands and, you know, a little bit of ink here when I'm writing or something. But I cannot stand, like, the whole finger painting thing and messy. However, there is a lot of stuff that Dee Dee does that would fit with what I do, because she likes, you know, a little bit of background, a lot of drawing, bit of collage, bit of this, bit of that, mix it up. And she's messy, but she's not messy. She's not crazy messy. So I thought I would look at some of the things she's doing and put my own twist on it because, you know, I'm not going to do it the same as her. I'm going to be playing around a little bit and finding out stuff and playing with my beloved paints and acrylics and things that have been in storage since April. I've got all my distress stains back and I'm in heaven. The winner is, although you don't win anything, you get brownie points. The brownie points go to Michelle. I got myself a Dylusions journal. I'm not getting a jelly plate. A jelly plate, Eve. I mean, jelly plate, that's a step too far towards messy, isn't it? As you correctly say, that's too messy. Although apparently, and this is quite intriguing, they do little 3x5 size jelly plates now, which isn't 3x5 about the size of a journal card? This is one of Reba Marie Smith's journal cards, if you're wondering. Where's my inches ruler? Where is my ruler with inches on? Inches on. Inches on. Oh, this is 6x4. So that's about 3 and a bit, isn't it? By 2 and a bit. So these are 3.5 by 2.5. Yeah, they do. Little 3.5 by 5.5 jelly plates. Now that I might be able to get behind because that's like little. You know, you could use a slightly bigger piece of paper and do your jelly plating and pick it up, and then you've got the jelly plate, but you haven't got your hands dirty. So that might be something. You want to play with distress stains, but they're expensive in NZ. You can do the same stuff with like watered down acrylic or watercolour and stuff like that. Well, watercolour would be better because they're what are they called? Water soluble, that's the word. Michelle, check out Jane Davenport and her shop. Oh, Institute of Cute, I think it's called. If you want to get stuff within New Zealand and Australia, is that called Australasia still? Used to be when I was a kid, but you know, it's not the USSR anymore either. If it's still Australasia, she covers that area. And she does domestic shipping for you, so it might be a lot cheaper to get it from her than to try and get it from the States or anywhere else. So try her, because she has lots of stuff that you can get in Australia that we can't get anywhere else, but it's equivalent. So yeah, check her out and see what she uses. Although Courtney Diaz over on Little Ink, she uses distress stains. I don't know if she got them when she was abroad somewhere or what, I don't know. But she got some, so maybe ask her where she got hers from. If all else fails, get a friend in a country where it's easy to get them to send them to you. Little care package. Ask somebody to wrap you one. It's not a random act of kindness if you ask them, is it? But, you know. You only need a couple of friends to send you one or two, and you've got one or two, haven't you? Can't beat that logic. Gnome logic, that is. Gnome logic is logic that technically is absolutely correct, but even though you can't fault it, you know somewhere along the line it's not quite right. Doesn't make sense. It's literal. Yeah, anyway. Dylusions journal. Diane Reevely. I never bothered to get one of these. I'm not quite sure why. I think because they were extortionately expensive. When I went looking for these online, the cheapest one I could find was £43. I was like, what? And then I went digging around on Amazon Marketplace, and the Book Depository had some for £16 plus postage, and I thought, well, I'll get that instead. But even so, this is the 11 3/8 by 8 1/4, which is a weird size. That must be American. Is it? Or is that our sizes? 8.5 by 11 is ours, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it was expensive, and I wasn't going to get one. And then I found it on the Book Depository. So I thought, you know what, I'll get one and I'll see what all the fuss is about. I'm not normally a big fan of craft covers like this. They tend to set my hands on edge. It's a weird thing I have with textures, but this is alright so far. It's nice and smooth. This is weird. Kind of like a Midori, but not quite enough like a Midori that I can figure it out. Yeah, that might get cut off. I expect you've all seen these, have you? I'm like the last person in the world to have a Dylusions journal. So, but I like the fact that it's a nice big thick book block, but the cover, or the spine, is loose. That kind of appealed to me. Oh, American size is 8.5 by 11. Okay, this is English size then. So how come it was so damn expensive to get one? Oh, no, Ranger are an American company though, aren't they? I don't know. Anyway. Some good journal fodder there. Shan't get rid of that. Shall use it. So this is the envelope on the front. I'm just going to do this just in case I'm not the last person to own a Dylusions journal or see a Dylusions journal. You know, there might be other dinosaurs. Everybody goes on about how completely useless this pocket is. Yeah, got to agree with that. It would have been better if it opened that way. If it was lengthways, like a moleskin pocket, that would have been much more sensible. I might doctor it so that I can open it that way. Because that would have been... You put something in there, then you've got to... trying to get it out. Who's got arms that long? It would have been much more sensible to have it this way, or even this way for us lefties. Yeah, I might have to doctor that. I'm sure it's doctorable to make it work. It's got to be useful for something. I do like having pockets and stuff because it does mean you can throw in bits of collage that you haven't had a chance to stick down yet, or you haven't figured out what you want to do with yet. So, the paper, that's the question, isn't it? Da, da, da. I like that the covers are plain. I quite like the red strip, that's cool. The red and orange is very cool. But I like the fact that it's like completely... Ranger is in New Jersey. Oh, they are an American company then. Yeah, I like the fact that you can completely customise it from beginning to end. That's very cool. I'm sure you could probably even ink this a different colour if you really wanted to. Would have been better to maybe have this in white so you could dye it a different colour without the brown affecting it, but yeah. So, as always, the beginning page, which is completely useless because it's stuck. It is bound, and it's bound very well actually. Let's have a look. It is bound. Can you see that? Let me hold it up to the camera. There we go. See? And it's not bound like the moleskins where it's like completely sewn all the way down, but it's sewn well. It's sewn well, I like that. 1, 2, 3. I should probably check the second signature that's not stuck to the inside of the... Okay. It looks like it's part sewn, part glued. So like these two are two separate signatures that are glued together. Okay, so I like that. Glued and bound is good. So the middle of the signature, 2 pages. That's coming apart already. It's not overly impressive. 1, 2... Yeah, 2 sheets to a signature apparently. This is cardstock. It's a bit like the moleskin cardstock. It's rougher than the moleskin cardstock. The nice cardstock that you used to be able to get. It's not quite as heavy duty. It's nice though. It's nice enough. It's not quite as cream. I'm not impressed with this. Can you see that? Look at that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that without me shifting the focus, but look at this. It's coming apart already. And yeah, I'm manhandling it, but if you're going to art in it, you're going to manhandle it, aren't you? So, yeah, that's already coming unstuck there in between the signatures. That's come unstuck there between that signature. In fact, that's come unstuck all the way down. It lies flat, at least. That's good. Look, that one's gone as well. As I turned the page, that one went. So that's a bit disappointing. Yeah, that one's gone as well. And I'm being rough with it, but I'm not being any rougher than I would be. I'm not being any rougher than I would be if I was using it as an art journal or doing art in it, you know. I want to be able to open a page and go like that and not have it fall apart. Seems to be doing a bit better at the back here. Maybe it's just those first few signatures are a bit iffy. Yeah, it'll do. It's not amazing, but it'll do. I'm trying to work out if there's different types of paper in it. Somebody said there was different types of paper in it. I'm seeing a difference in colour. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. I am seeing that there's white there, and then there's cream, and then there's white. But I'm not seeing any particular difference between this paper and this paper. Oh, there is a little bit of difference. This is very... Oh, you know what? This is like the original moleskin paper, the sketchbook moleskin paper, the cardstock. And this is like the new moleskin paper, the crappy cardstock. There you go. That is a pretty fair assessment of it. So you alternate between the really good and the crap ones. She has a lot of videos. Yeah, I know she has a lot of videos. I don't really like her style. It's too messy. It's too messy for me, and you know, throwing stuff around, and yeah, it's not really my thing. And I refuse to pay the price for Dylusions that they cost. I'm not paying that price. No, I have better things to spend my money on that I know I love better. And I'm not knocking Ranger. Some of the things I really like are from Ranger, as I will show you in a minute. You know how much I love my distress stains. So overall, my assessment. Look at that. Can you see that? I mean, it's not picking up very clearly because I would have to refocus the camera, and I really don't want to do that. But can you see how that's come apart already? For 20 quid plus, because I got it cheap, remember, on a bargain basement site. If you actually go on a crafting site, good luck finding one for less than 30 quid at this size. I'm not overly impressed with that for that amount of money, but it'll do for what I want. I will make it work, because I do that. Anyway, yes, that was my little treat for myself, to have a play with something I hadn't played with before. So it'd be interesting to see if it holds up, because it's not holding up to just... Oh, look! This is... Oh my goodness me, look at this! Can you see that? Sorry, can you see that? Considering how much it costs, I would expect it to hold up a little bit better than, oh, let me flick through and see what it's like, and oh, look, it's already coming apart at the seams. That's not awfully impressive. I was not expecting to be blown away by this. If I'd been expecting to be blown away by this, I would have bought one much sooner than I have. I would have bought them when I first came out if I expected to be blown away by them. But honestly, for this price, to have that happening, and it's not even like I bought it on eBay and it could be a second. This is from Book Depository, and they are bargain basement, but they get brand new, authentic stock. So it's not even like it's a second. In fact, that is actually really annoying me. I have had dealings with Ranger issues before, and they've always been very good. So I think I will probably email them about this, and maybe even send them the footage to show them, you know, because, yeah, I was being a bit rough with it, but it's not like I was picking it up and hanging it by one side of the book or anything. I'm just doing what anybody else would do. I'm opening it and smushing it down, and it's already falling apart. So I will probably email them about that and say, what? What is this? What is this? Because when you consider that I use... Where's my black book gone? Sorry, I'm going to do some cardboard clearing here. Where's my black book? Oh, it's over on the desk. Well, on the table. 1 second. La la la. Hello, Scooby-Doo. Are you watching me? Are you watching me? When you consider how much I abuse this book, and you've all seen me do exactly the same with this book as I've just done with that one. You know, open it out, smack it down. I do exactly the same with all my books. It's the first thing I do. Takes pages out and tips them back in with washi tape. She probably has to if the binding's not holding up. I'm sorry, but for 20 quid I don't expect to have to rebind my book. This is a 9x7, it's the Sea Whites of Brighton. Now they are an English company, it's going to be difficult to get these anywhere else, but anybody in the UK, Evelyn will back me up on this. Evelyn, sorry, I always pronounce your name wrong, don't I? She'll back me up on this. These are, I think I paid £8 for these, in the portrait size 8x7. And these, I have never, ever had one of these come apart on me. Never. And, you know, I do all sorts of stuff in mine. I get them wet, I use markers, I use this, I use that. I've never had one of them fall apart. Certainly not while I was looking at it. Yeah. Be buying more of these. Anyway. Oh, dear. For 20 quid, I expect better. Amazon will, yeah. Amazon will give you a percentage off if things are damaged, if they come from Amazon Warehouse. Absolutely. But it didn't come from Amazon Warehouse. It came from Book Depository. And Book Depository have brand new stock. So I shall contact Ranger and say, what is this? Because at least their customer service is good. Bit of coffee. Hang on. Anyway, I thought I'd get it to have a play around with. I just saved you a ton of money. Yeah. Well, it may be that they don't normally do that. I haven't seen other people using them a lot, to be honest. I've heard people say, oh, look, I got me a Dylusions journal. I don't generally follow most of the crowd who use them. But Dee Dee's been using hers and she's not complained about that. And I would have thought if the binding was going, she would have said something. So maybe I've got a duff one. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt until we find out otherwise. But off the top of my head, not impressed. However, I've just put it away and I didn't mean to do that. My coffee's kicking in, can you tell? Oh dear. Oh, I'm going to keep getting that the wrong way round, aren't I? Yeah, that's going to... Okay. Yeah, that's going to confuse me. Anyway, you know what? Actually, no, I better not do that, in case I have to get it replaced and send it back. Better not. Oh, does that mean I can't use it, though? Oh, sod it. I'm only going to use the first page anyway. I'll use the first page. It makes no difference because I'm only using it as a base. Now, this book block is not solid, so let me put my other book underneath it so that I don't have problems with that. Slip that under the Mac. There we go. Can you see that now? Okay. And you'll be pleased to know that despite the wheeling around at the beginning of the video, you will not have any whooshy, 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 oh, hang on a minute, let's autofocus from this stream, because that's a manual focus. Now it's set, that's it. Which is why I can't show you things up close, unless I change the focus. But it's a manual focus, so at least you won't have the woo thing going on. Okay, step 2. I picked up some of these. They are spray travel bottles. I've already opened this one because I didn't want you to have to deal with the really big sketchbook. Which one? The very, very big sketchbook that costs 60 quid, or the really big freestyle notebook? Because she's got both, hasn't she? I love my freestyle notebook. I use that all the time. I don't like the fact that it doesn't lie flat. I would use it a lot more if it did lie flat. However, for what I use it for doing prep work for classes and stuff, it's fine. I picked these up in Wilko's in the UK. They are 50p, and currently they're on buy two get one free, so they're 3 for £1. And they are pretty good. They do not leak. I've tried them. Where did it go? You will find that, I can use my phone, black surface for you. The things at the bottom go right down into the corner. Now if you're using spray inks, that's not good. Because if there's any sediment whatsoever in your inks, like if you use watered down acrylics or Inktense blocks or whatever and shake them up, yeah, anything like that is going to cause sediment in the bottom. So the first thing you want to do is take your sticky thing like this and a board and a knife, and you want to trim off just about 1/4 of an inch and do it at an angle. Okay, so that's what I chopped off. Goes from about 3mm on one side to about 5mm on the other. The reason you do it at an angle is so that it doesn't get caught up in this corner. And you know, if it does touch anything at the bottom in any way, because it's at an angle, you're not going to get that. You know, like when you're drinking out the bottom of a cup with a straw, and you get that horrible slurpy noise. Well, you won't get that with the spray ink if you do that. Trust me on this. The reason I'm using this is because I plan to do, apparently most of you are familiar with Dee Dee. You know her big, what does she call it? Smacking dragon? I haven't figured out what she calls it that yet. I think it's something to do with the way she put her ink on. Anyway, she's got a Dylusions journal that she calls Smacking Dragon, and I'm going to attempt to do a similar thing, but not the same. More my kind of stuff. So you can expect it to be very dark and gothic and lots of ink and stuff like that. Ink work, like pen ink work. Which ties in with October, Inktober, which I haven't started yet. I was going to start that today, which is why I had all my stuff out playing, and why I thought, hey, I'm going to play, I might as well do it live. Ta-da! See where my thought process went? It took a while to get there, but, you know. Anyway, these here things. What I've been doing, and what I'm going to do with the rest of these, have a few more, I'm going to find the ones. Oh, here they are. Distress stains. So these are, I'm sure you've seen these. She slaps it in the ink and drags it. Oh, it's one of the Dylusions things that they do, where they spray it all over the mat, and then they turn it upside down and they press it, and they, yeah. I do ink blots, which is a similar thing. I do spray smush. Spray smush. Oh dear. Okay. It's a technical term, that. Spray smush. So she's got a Smacking Dragon book. Maybe I'll call mine Spray Smush. Oh. Distress stains. These are the ones with the little thingies on. Now, if you're doing this, evidence, okay, for anybody who doubts what I'm saying about this, 1, keep your distress stains upright. 2, do not do it with a distress stain that you have already tipped upside down and smooshed somewhere in recent history. Make sure this thing is relatively dry. Of course, this is completely full, so it's not relatively dry, but I would still have to pump it a little bit to get it working. You are going to need, I'm going to take my gloves off because I don't want to get ink all over my gloves, because that will really annoy me, but my hands are cold. I've got the back door open and it's a bit chilly, and my hands get really cold. As you can tell by the fact that my rings don't fit. I'm going to take a pair of pliers, and these are pliers with teeth. They've got graty bits on. Holding your bottle firmly with one hand and using your pliers with whichever is your dominant hand, carefully twist the two until that comes off. You will want to have some towels ready. If you've got white kitchen towel, little tip, keep your kitchen towel handy. Especially if it's multiple plies, you can use this to wipe up any ink and then you get cool colours all over your towels. I've only got blue ones, unfortunately, which aren't necessarily going to work that well, but anyway. So the reason I'm doing this on the book is because I don't want to waste ink. I was mopping up all this. Mitts! Hi! I did say to everybody, go out and if you find Mitts, tell her I'm live. So 12 o'clock. Is this a good time for you, Mitts? Let me know if this is about the right sort of time. And if it's okay, is it okay during the week or is it okay weekends or whatever? Let me know and then I'll be able to write down. I've got a little list going of who is available at different times, because I know there's people like Aveline who, you know, I could do a vlog like this at 4 o'clock in the morning and she'd probably come and join in because she's an insomniac like me. Anyway, take my little spray bottle, which I have already chopped the end of. I've stuck a sticker on. Now, this is just a basic. See, this is what I was doing earlier, and then I thought, what a waste of ink. I could do that in my journal. Oh dear. Anyway, where was I? Where was I going with this? Sticker paper. It's just sticker. It's like a mailing sticker label, but it's a big one. It's the whole sheet. It's not just little ones. Hi, Claire. It's not just little ones. It's a whole sheet, and I've just torn them up and stuck them on here. Now, do not do this first. Do not try and put your colours on your labels and then take them apart and put them on your bottle, because what will happen is they will break apart. Also, the distress stain doesn't go on the labels as well. I don't know why, but it doesn't go as well on the labels. And then you have to wait for your labels to dry. It's a big mess, and they still break. Never mind. Stick your labels on first, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decant about half of this. Well, for my bottles, these are 50ml bottles, I think. Let's have a look. 100ml, sorry, these are 100ml bottles. And these are, does it say? 30ml, I would guess. Oh, 29 mils, very precise. But I've been basically doing it so that 1 inch, whoops, in the bottom of, oops, that's a little bit too much. 1 inch in the bottom of this bottle here, the big bottle. Good night, Michelle. Thanks for dropping by. It will be available on replay later if you want to catch it tomorrow. 1 inch in this bottle leaves you about 1 inch in this bottle. So I'm just going to pour a little bit back because I got a bit overexcited there because I wasn't watching what I was doing. I may have had a little bit too much coffee. Okay, let's try that one again. There we go. So about 1 inch in the big bottle leaves you about 1 inch in your distress stain. Because I don't know about you, but I'm never going to get through that much distress stain. I'm just not. I've got, I mean, the colours that I use most are my 2 purples, my orange, and my yellow. And my black, obviously. I've replaced my black a couple of times because I go through it like water. So I bought, while I was in town yesterday, I bought a spare one, and I'm going to put all of this in the spray bottle. But, you know, 1 inch of this is going to last me a while in this dabber bottle. So I'm not at all bothered about taking some of it out to put in here. Now, put that back in there. put this dabber top on, and trust me, you will want to do this with a piece of kitchen towel. Pick up your dabber top, put it in, and press firmly. And then, when you think it's in and it's pressed firmly and it's clicked into place, do it again. Because as I found out to my cost, note the green fingers, if you don't, and there's even a slight bit of gap, see there's a bit of gap there, I can get my nail under there, that's not tight enough. If there's even a slight bit of gap there, you are going to have a leak. So you've got to make sure that this goes right back down into the bottle, completely back down. Once you've done that, turn it upside down and test it, because I've had 2 of these just fall right back out again for no reason. And then I've put them in the second time and they've been fine. Maybe I've had an air bubble or something, I don't know. But just make sure. So I'm just going to spread that around because it's bleeding. Oh, it's only bleeding a little bit. Oh, that's quite cool. And then you can put your colour on your label. Ta-da! Now, what I've been doing is letting that dry a minute and then doing it again, because for some reason on these sticky labels, I don't know if it's the quality of the paper or whatever, but for some reason they don't pick up the colour as well as regular paper. Can you see that? It's really light compared to this over here. So I've just been letting it dry a little bit and then going back over it. And when that's completely dry, I will write on the name. And I've done the same with my acrylic inks and my alcohol inks. My alcohol inks, I put an A. And my acrylic inks and my bulletproof inks, I put a P for permanent. So I've got A for alcohol, P for permanent, and I've got W for watercolour. This is still wet from yesterday because I did it the wrong way around. It's crazy. Whereas the one I did earlier, the green one, that's dry. It's gone a bit weird at the bottom, but I don't care. It'll go weird anyway with use. And then I've put them in something else I bought yesterday. These little baggies. Oh, let me show you an empty one, that'll be easier. But I've put them in there. These little baggies I got in the pound shop. Poundland pound shop. Now, they charged me for 3, and each one it's got 2 stuck together, so I don't know if they're £1 each or they're 2 for £1. But anyway, these are cosmetic bags. They're wash bag and makeup bag. But you get the big bag is like that, which is what I'm using for my inks and I've got one with my over here with all my little acrylics and things in. Just keeps them all together instead of having them in these. I had them in these little tubs and you can't dig around in there and they fall out, and then I'm always worried that one of them is going to end up on the floor and one of the puppies is going to get hold of it, and yeah. So anyway, anything that needs to be kept away from the puppies or large quantities of stuff, I've got all my colour pencils in one of these as well. I'm going in here. And then I'm using these for, like here, I've got my watercolour pencils in here. So this is more for stuff that... So I can use these. If my watercolour pencils get wet, it doesn't matter because they're in here. I've got my Inktense pencils in one as well. And you can buy, if you go in the post office or Wilko's, for £1, you can buy the pencil case version, which is a little bit longer. It's about that big. And that is long enough to put things like paintbrushes and stuff in. So Inktense pencils don't fit corner to corner, but they don't fit fully in here. So you want the pencil case size for Inktense pencils. So that gives you a point of reference. But obviously once you start using your pencils, they get shorter anyway. Duh. But my Crayola pencils, which I've just replaced because I love my Crayola watercolours, they fit perfectly in here. So if I, as I tend to do, spill water all over the place when I'm using my watercolour pencils stay dry. Equally, if my watercolour pencils get wet on the end, I can shove them in here and it doesn't get anything else dirty. Because I don't do mess. I don't like mess. Anyway, yes, those are £1 each in Poundland, the one with the green logo and the white thing. So, yeah, this is more than enough distress stain for me. Because I do use them a lot, but I don't go through an awful lot. It's not like I soak a massive page with it and everything else. I use my little journal, you know. I just started. I haven't done anything for October yet. I've been out. That's what today's about, catching up on stuff. See, I did a bit of splushy, and then I did some spray and flappy, and then I stuck a bit of purple paper. That's all I use, you know, and I think I probably used more in the spray than I did in the actual swiping. So, yeah, I'm not worried about using up my inks. And these are pretty cheap here anyway. The shop I get them for, they're £3.50. No, they're £3.99, and they work out £3.50 if you buy 6 at a time. But you can get them on eBay for like £2.95 as well for some colours. So anyway, once you've got your stuff in your spray bottle, what you want to do is, see, it's not sprayed yet, but the ink has come up into the dropper. So that means the next time I do it, it's going to splutter and then it will spray. There's spray. There we go. So, spray, smoosh. So, and of course these are so bright. I mean, these are very heavy pigmented. You could even water them down a little bit if you wanted to. You don't have to leave them this colour. Or you could water them down considerably and drop a chunk of, what are they called? The art bars, the Derwent art bars. You can water those down. They dissolve completely in ink. So you could chop one of those up and put it in here and fill it with water and shake it up. And that'll do the same thing. So there's lots of options if you don't want to spend a fortune on spray inks. So I've got my Dusty Concord. Favourite colour. I love this colour, it's beautiful. Okay, and I've already put my label on, because I knew I would forget to do them, so. Very carefully. Pull out the stopper, and watch it because it'll have ink on the bottom, especially if it's a fairly new one. This is a reasonably new one, I replaced it not long ago. Decant one into the other. Of course, if you don't use your dabbers at all, you could decant the whole thing. If you're sitting there with dabber bottles that you never use, just have at it, decant the whole thing. A little bit more, because I'll use that one a lot. Being Halloween and all that. And if you get a bit on the lip here, and you don't want to waste it, just pick it up with a dry brush, thirsty brush as we call it. Splosh it down somewhere. Okay. Whoops. I'm fisted today. When my hands get cold, one of the reasons I wear gloves is because when my hands get cold I get kind of spasms. So I'll probably get more and more klutzy as my hands get colder. But I'll put my gloves back on when I'm done with this. So. There we go, push that back in. Make sure it is pushed in properly. Get some colour going. Ooh. Put the lid on. Don't tip it up with that lid on. It's not a good idea. Again, I've already cut all my stems. I'm going to spray it before I put that on because I'll get it all over my hand again. So 1, oh, that's full already, so it should spray. There we go. Spray, spray, smoosh. Leave that for a second. Put another coat on it. Don't forget, if you have questions or you want to ask me anything, put it in caps because I will miss the chat otherwise. And I did say it earlier in the programme, which was, oh my god, an hour? We've been on an hour? No. Time fly when you're having fun. Yeah, I did say earlier, if you're watching and you have the ability to tweet out or share somewhere, Facebook, email your friend, whatever, if you could do that, that would be great, because obviously I don't want to stop what I'm doing to have to keep sharing the link, and I don't have a set time. It's not like the Ustreamers where they go on at set times. I'm just doing this, like today I came on at lunchtime because Mince had said she'd missed the streams because they weren't on at a good time for her, and we figured out the time zones, and I came on at lunchtime here in the hope that she would catch us, which she has. So that's that one. Like I say, I'll go back to this later when it's dry and write on a W for watercolour or water soluble, because these reactivate with water, and gesso and other paint and stuff. And then I'll write on Distress Stain Dusty Concord. That's it. And they go in my little pouch. Now, with these pouches and these particular bottles, these bottles are about 1/4 of an inch too tall. At the moment, I'm being good and I'm putting my lids on, but I guarantee you, after I've used them a couple of times, the lids will be all over the place. I tend to use the lids for just popping a little bit of acrylic paint in and doing it, because I don't like to use a big palette, it gets in the way. And if I want a bit of gesso or a bit of matte medium or something, I'll squeeze some into these little cap things. So after a while the caps will disappear and I'll start using them separately, but at the moment, because it's all new and I've just done it, they've still got the caps on, so they don't quite fit. But once the caps are off, you can see it. They do fit, it's just a little bit of a struggle to get them all to line up to do it up. So once the caps come off, and I've lost most of them, we'll be fine. Oh, incidentally, if you have stuff that you want to, like if you buy a big bottle of gesso or a big bottle of matte medium or something, I've got a big bottle of, this is one of my bottles of matte medium. This is actually my smaller bottle. I've got the double size one of that. Well, you don't want to be hauling that out every 5 minutes. These are flip and squeeze, like hand lotion. So you could use these for things like matte medium, as long as you make sure that you wipe that and close it, because don't forget this stuff is like glue. So if that hardens, you're going to be in a mess. You won't be able to get rid of it. You might be able to soak the lid in hot water, but it's going to be a messy thing. So you can get these in, these are 3 for £1 as well in Wilko's, but they only had 8 of the spray bottles, and I could get 9 for £3, so I just picked up one of these and threw that in. She said I could have that instead. Don't know what I'll use it for yet, but yeah, you could decant. If you get a big bottle of something, you could decant. I tend to buy the little bottles, to be honest. I buy like the 118 millilitre size, the 4 fluid ounces. I don't go through it fast enough to warrant buying a big thing of anything. The only stuff I buy in big tubes and big colours is like this, like the white, the black and the bright pink. I will go through very, very quickly, so I tend to get those. And the portrait colours, the portrait rose. But other than that, I don't tend to buy the big things of anything. Right, I've got a nice brick red here, that sounds nice. Well, I'm not sure red's going to go for Halloween though, and this is looking very Halloweeny. So we'll use the next page for this one, because it's red. This is Fired Brick. I love this red. It's like, well, it's brick red. It's the colour of the lipstick that I wear. So it's a bit of a signature colour for me. It's that beautiful, dark, fiery red that I absolutely adore. And now I look like I've cut myself. Okay. By the way, these may be water-based stains, but they are stains. And they do stain. So, be warned. My hands are getting so dirty. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like blood. Yes, there's my inner goth coming out. Oh no, it's an outer goth. Catching the tail end? No, well, I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes, but I guess I'm kind of in the middle of what I was doing. I'm just playing. And when I'm playing, it could go on for 3 hours. You haven't missed very much, I promise. Oh, no, I want that first. Yeah, don't put the lids on without putting your stopper back in. That's also very messy. I've done that before. Ooh, let's do... Ooh. I'm just using the stopper. It's got like a circle on it. That'd be cool for like doing steampunk gears or something like that, wouldn't it? So I like to play, I just don't like to get dirty while I play. 3 hours? Well, not necessarily, but maybe. You know, given that I'm an hour and a quarter into playtime, and I'm going merrily at it and didn't even realise I was an hour and a quarter in, it's quite possible I'll be on for 3 hours. Make sure your lids are on completely. So, can you see there the white of the, the white of the sprayer? Press. Look. Now it's gone red. So it's got ink in it, it's loaded. Splutter. Spray. Swoosh. Oh, that went nice. I like that. See, that's what normally happens. Mop up the excess where you oversprayed the page. Oh, I like that. That came out kind of like butterfly wings, didn't it? I do actually have some jelly paper for sprayage. Which again, you can catch your drips and drobs with this, and then when you're done, you can use your deli paper as collage material. Yes, I only sprayed one side of the page with that. Let's see why in a minute. See? I don't think you can see that texture that is made. It's like feathers almost. Oh my god, are you seeing a couple of gargoyles? Do you prep your pages? Do you use gesso? Yes, I use gesso, but not as it's intended, and no, I don't prep my pages. I don't use paper that doesn't accept mixed media, but I'm not fussy about my paper either. If it goes through, it goes through. I'll just cover it with something. So, like, I know these aren't going to bleed, but if I used Copic markers, like, I was saying this in the stream the other day, if I use Copics, tell me if you can see the gargoyles. Please, tell me you can see the gargoyles, and it's not just me. If you use Copics, I would not use Copics on this page, because there's something on here. This is why I don't prep pages in advance very far. I don't do, like, I was talking about Dee Dee earlier, Dee Dee Wellingham. She did her whole book of backgrounds, similar to this, before she started doing anything else. I don't do that. Because, one, I might want a plain page. I like working on a blank page sometimes. And two, if I use Copic markers, and I've done the whole book, and I put Copic markers, it's going to bleed through. So I can't stand that. So if I'm using alcohol inks, rather than turning over and using this page, I will prep this, put all these down, and turn over a second page. So the alcohol inks will bleed through onto these two white pages behind. Okay? Then what I can do is collage over any of the bits I don't want to use, or paint over them, or, you know, anything I don't want to see, I can paint over, and anything that I do want to use because it's part of a good pattern. Oh, that's interesting as well. Ooh, I've forgotten how much fun it was playing with spray inks. I do like my spray inks. Let's see if we can get this to... Oh, that's cool. I wonder if we could get a handprint out of it. Wouldn't that be cool for Halloween? Yes, it's not just you. I don't know what you're referring to, Eve, unfortunately, because I didn't see when you put it up. And even if I had, there's a lag, so I'm not sure what you're referring to, but thank you, at least I'm not alone. Yeah, I don't like to prep in advance because... Oh, you see them! You see the gargoyles! Excellent! Maybe we'll link them in. Maybe we'll do that for Inktober. I was going to use this page, but maybe we'll do Inktober and play with the gargoyles. Okay, now I'm going to have to get lots of paper out here because I'm about to do my black. And you've seen the mess I make with the other colours. So, oh, this one doesn't have a sticker on. Oh, that's because it's that one. Sticker, put a sticker on it. Oh, I love that red, isn't it beautiful? I need to get another one of these actually, because this is a brand new one. I can see we're going through it quite quickly in October. It's like vampire blood. Urgh. Yes, I'm a goth. Deal with it. See what I mean about the cool patterns you can get on your... I mean, obviously this is crappy towel. This is just what I use for mopping up. I should have got some kitchen towel when I was in town yesterday and I forgot. This is normally what I use for like wiping down the sink and stuff because it disintegrates with water, so you can flush it down the loo. But all these cool patterns, and then you can pull it apart. If you pull it apart very carefully into two pieces, and then you've got two matching pieces. If you've got 3-ply paper, then you get 3 pieces. If you've got 4-ply paper, you get 4 pieces. And if it's white, and you put it down with something like PVA glue or gel medium or something like that, it will go transparent. I still use this, you know, I'll use it on a background where I want it to be blue, and maybe put it down like that or something, or tear it up. Put it down on the background and then paint over the bits where it's a bit too blue, or, you know, spray some more ink over it or something like that. But yeah, this is what happens when you use paper towel. This is why I don't use baby wipes. Baby wipes are non-recyclable. Now I know that you can reuse them for different things, but I see an awful lot of people using baby wipes to clean up stuff and then they put them in the bin. They are not recyclable. Ugh. You should be able to use baby wipes on things like your covers and stuff. I don't think you could use them in your paper. I think they'd be too heavy. But like for your covers and stuff, you could probably glue them onto your covers and stuff like that. But personally, I would prefer to use kitchen towel and have all these lovely collage papers to play with. Okay, let's see what mess we can get in with the black, shall we? So, time to put... Oh dear. Let's put lots of paper down. Well, it's going to be messy. Incidentally, if you have baking paper, baking parchment, as opposed to greaseproof paper, greaseproof paper is waxy on both sides. Baking parchment is dry, like deli wrap. So like this is not waxy. It is waxed, but it's dry wax. So you can draw on it, or you can paint on it, or you can collage with it, you can stick it down. Whereas greaseproof paper does what it says on the tin, nothing sticks to it. Baking parchment is dry wax paper, so you can reuse it. Anyway, let's see what mess we can get in with the black. Are you scared? You should be. I know I am. Oh dear. I do like black, but I don't want it all over my hands. Now, as I said, I've got a couple of these because I go through black at a rate or not, so I use black a lot. So what I'm going to do with this one is put most of it back in the bottle. I'll just leave like a little sliver in the bottom so that I've got one that I can just pop in my pencil case that can't do too much damage. Okay. I'm turning it so that I can see where the split in the label is. I can see how much ink is there, although it goes black all the way through. Judge it by this side. Yeah, there's about 1/4 of an inch in there. There's about 1.5 inches in that one. Maybe a bit more, almost 2 inches. Okay. It's back. Push the lid on. Hello from France. Ugh. Push the lid on. What's everybody doing? Tell me what you're doing. Are you just sitting there having your lunch or breakfast or coffee or whatever it is and watching me, or are you playing? Can I talk about my classes? Yes. What would you like to know about my classes? I will witter on a little bit about When Frogs Sing 2016 when I start playing with these pages a little bit more, because that's my current class that has just gone out. And anything else you want to know about, just put a question in comments in caps lock so that I can see it, and I will come back to it. You learn so much from me. Oh, thank you, Mitz. Honestly, it's just play. It's just play. I just muck about. Now, think about it logically. If I colour this label in black, unless I mess about with adult colouring books, oh, I'm totally into them at the moment. I've got a pile here to show you in a minute while this dries. If I colour this in black, then I'm going to have to find a white pen that will write over Distress Stain. Now, what did we say about Distress Stain? It's water soluble, that's right. So anything we put over that is going to turn a nasty muddy grey at best. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is just, I'll roll it in there actually, I'll just put a little bit of black on the bottom there to distinguish it from the white, because I've got a white one here. Just put a little square on it at the bottom there. And then I can write my W in distress stain and soot black, and that will distinguish it from the white one. See, I'm quite clever really. Oh, I didn't test that one. Hang on. Always tip them upside down and test them, because they do fall back out. Okay. Make sure paper is in place. Prep it. Prepare for splatter. Splatter! Spray, spray. Smoosh. Ink blots. Oh, night, Mrs. Eggy. Mr. and Mrs. Eggy. Oh, my New Zealand girls are off to bed. Okay. Does that mean it's a bit late for you as well, Mitts? Or are you a bit earlier? Somebody said it was 1 AM where they were. It's quite difficult because Australia, New Zealand and Japan covers like 8 time zones. I exaggerate, but that's how it feels like from here. Everybody who comes in comes from the same place and they're all going, oh no, it's different time here. Let's have a look. Ooh, it's all Halloweeny. I like that. Should we put some more purple and orange on there? Better. There's my orange and purple one. There we go. Let's put orange on first. And smoosh. Your 7-year-old is watching with me. Oh, hello! Hello, little one. I like it when the kids watch. Is she playing along? What's her name? 2-hour difference between the coasts of Australia. We still haven't established what's on the east coast of Australia, apart from most of the population. Nobody can tell me a city on the west coast of Australia. Every city I've mentioned apparently is on the west coast, east coast. Okay, there's lots of orange. Now let's put some purple. Throw on some purple. Hit some of these white areas so we've got a nice splodgy Halloween background. See, it's possible to do. Oh, it's almost 10 PM, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You're in your, oh, baby's gone down for a nap and isn't going to wake up for another 2 hours. Kenzie. Hello, Kenzie. What I'm doing right now, if you've got poster paints or finger paints or any other wet kind of paint, you can do this with them. They don't have to spray. You can use any kind of splodgy wet paint. Let me show you. I've got some white acrylic here. It's gone a little bit dark. Let's put some white on. I'm going to dribble some white. Not too much. You don't want to go crazy with it because it'll start squeezing out the sides. You know, like when you put too much peanut butter in your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Yeah, that's what will happen. So I'm going to grab my... See, I'm a professional. I've got a palette knife, look. I'm going to grab a bit of that and smush it around a bit. And that white, because this is watercolour, water soluble, will start picking up some of the colour. And smoosh. You've never taken classes and you're new to art, which one should I begin with? Oh, I've got somebody at the door. Hold that thought, I will be right back. Sorry about that. Neighbour wanted his meter reading from yesterday. Yes, it was acrylic paint. Never taken a class. New to art, which one should I begin with? Any of my classes. Any of my classes are suitable for beginners, intermediate or advanced. Evelyn has done a couple of my classes and she's quite advanced. She's at teaching level herself. In fact, she's taught on one of my classes. Look at that! Oh, I like it. Who else has seen a couple of wolves and a uterus? Don't you just love ink blots? I absolutely love them. She who dances with wolves. Oh dear. No, because this is acrylic, and Kenzie, this goes for poster paint as well, spray inks will not transfer, but acrylic, if you put that closed and leave it, that will stick like glue. So you can't just turn it over like you did with these. You have to wait for it to dry, or borrow Mum's hairdryer. Where's mine? Oh, we're very professional here, very organised. Got all our tools out ready. Oh. Heat gun, here we go. I didn't know I was going to be using acrylic paint, did I? Although I should have guessed, really. Heat guns are not suitable for 7-year-olds. Kenzie, borrow your mum's hairdryer. It'll do the same job, just not as fast. Don't get paint on your mum's hairdryer. Don't get paint on your mum's hairdryer or she'll be billing me for a replacement. Okay, go and make yourselves a coffee, I'm going to dry this. Okay, I'm back. I'm not going to start again just yet in case everybody else is still making a coffee, but I will carry on. If you're as accident prone as me, unplug your heat tool. Okay, so what can I see in this? I love these ink blot things because you see so many things. Somebody mentioned a pair of pigs, and now it's dried, I can see the pair of pigs. Yeah, the little snout and the ears. Similar to a wolf, but yeah, little pigs as well you could draw. This could be, like, this could be his tail coming up, and his back legs, and his front legs, and his little piggy ears, and his eyes, and his snout. I also, in the same thing, I see a wolf or a dog. So, in fact, I see similar to the Celtic dogs. Somebody else saw a uterus as well. Absolutely. It wasn't just me. I don't fancy drawing a uterus on the first page. However, I do also see a skull. Do you see the skull? Who is it? One of the American... I don't know if it's football or baseball. One of the American teams. Longhorns, is it? Do you see the bull's skull? Here's the eyes. And the nose. The front of the face coming down and the nasal bones. And the horns. Do you see the horns there? Anybody else seeing the... Is it Texas Longhorns? I don't know. I don't know anything about American football or baseball or whatever it is they play. Or a ram's skull, yeah. It's cool, isn't it? Let's turn it upside down and see what we get. Oh, there we go. Now what do you see? I've seen a baby in a crib. So I'm seeing like a cradle, the baby's face and hair, and a, what do they call them? Like the netting, like the mosquito nets. It is Texas Longhorns. Okay, thank you. They put them up and they have them coming across like a little tent like that to keep the mosquitoes out. You could also see it as a boat or a sled with a sail. Oh, I'm seeing a rabbit here. Here's his back leg and his big hind thing. And his bum fluff bunny tail. It's better on this side. And his big ears. And there's an eye and a nose and whiskers. 2 flying birds. 2 flying birds. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, if this was the wing. And the... Yeah, almost like a hummingbird. Yep, I can see that. Kenzie can see 2 footprints with the black spots just beside the pigs. Oh! Yes! Little paw prints. Now, they've got two toes, so they'd be piggy paw prints, wouldn't they? They'd be piggy hoof prints, because they have 2 toes, don't they? Pigs on their trotters. Well spotted! Isn't this fun? What do we see if we turn it sideways? They don't normally work sideways, but we'll give it a go. What do we see if we turn it that way? And don't just look at the white, look at the black as well. What are you seeing in the black? I'm seeing a man's face in the black. Like the hair over the brow, and the eye, and the nose, and a mouth, and a chin with maybe a beard, maybe an ogre's face. Dolphins. Who said dolphins? I'm not seeing dolphins. Oh, the two towers from Lords of the Rings. Yes. Yes. With the valley in the middle, the river going up the middle. Yes. Well spotted. Dolphins. I'm almost seeing a dolphin, but not quite. Like this bit here looks very much like a dolphin's face. But I'm not seeing the rest of the dolphin. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way around. Ooh, do you see the ghost? No, 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 no. Do you see the little ghost here? Hiding behind the curtain. Oh, this is fun. So we can do all sorts of things with that. Big swooshy jumping dolphins. Do you mean like, is this the face of the dolphin? Because that's the only bit I'm seeing that looks anything like a dolphin. I'm thinking maybe if you're seeing this as water spray and maybe a fin and the water coming off his tail, is that what you're looking at? On the side at the bottom right, in the black, I see a face with hair falling over it. A face with hair falling over it. Not seeing that one yet, but sometimes it's like those magic eye pictures. You have to be told what's there before you can see it. No, if you can see dolphins, you can see dolphins. This is why it's used as a psychological test, because everybody sees something different. And you won't always see what other people see, because your brain and your eyes aren't connected in the same way as somebody else's. So on the side, like this, a face with hair falling over it. Oh, I used that page, didn't I? A face with hair falling over it. You live on a beach, so everything looks like fish. That's fair enough. Face with hair. This bit here, is this the eye? And the hair? I can kind of see that. If that's the bit you're talking about, yeah, I can kind of see that. You could have a nose here, and the eye. Fringe. Hi, Claire. Other Claire. And hair coming down, and a neck. We're playing ink blots. So far, we've got a uterus, a pair of wolves, a pair of pigs, some dolphins, a couple of piggy footprints, an ogre, the Texas Longhorns symbol, a profile. A profile. No, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing that one. I'm not seeing that one at all. But if you are, that's great. Because that means that your piece is going to be unique. Because what you're seeing is completely different to what everybody else is seeing. Except crazy dolphin lady. Yes, there is yeah. It's like when you stare up at the clouds and you see teddy bears. It's the same thing. So I'm thinking for this one, I don't think I want to work on this one because the other one's so much more exciting. But I think for Inktober 1, for this one, I might go with, because it's Halloween, the Texas Longhorn skull. And a pair of wolves. Because I like wolves. Wolves are my totem animals. Spirit animals. So, although I like the idea of the piggies are cool and it would look awesome with the pig's trotters and everything. I like the idea of the wolves with the skull. So what I'm going to do is grab my phone and take a photo. And what I'll do is I'll make it available later, assuming I remember. And then if you want to print it out and put it in your own journal and have a play with it, you can. There you go. And you can print that out, stick it in your journal, and see what you can find in it. And draw your bits. I'll do this one later. I want to move on to, wait till you see this one, Claire. You're going to love this one. Now, obviously, I'm seeing a pair of gargoyles. Holly D, you can't see it. What can't you see? Which is it that you can't see? Tell me what it is you can't see and I'll point it out to you. Unless it's the dolphins, which I can't see either. Beyond the uterus and the pigs. Okay, well, the Texas Longhorns, here's the horns. And here's the nasal bone of the skull. And the bit where the nostrils are. The bone of the nostrils. And the eye sockets here. The piggies I already did. You can go back to that one. A pair of fairies. Yeah, I can see where you're getting the fairies from. Gargoyles. Griffins. If you took this as being the back and haunches of the griffin with the wings, I think we've got a wing thing going on here, haven't we? But they have like a beak nose and a lion's mane, and is it the body of the lion, the wings of a dragon, and the face of an eagle? Is that right for a griffin? Somebody look it up. What's a griffin? Not griffin, griffon. Gryphon. I can't remember what chimera it is. But a pair of griffins with, like, English griffins with standards, with pennants, flag pennants. A ballerina, bottom left, without a head. Oh yes! Oh yes, I'm seeing her. Yes, you're right. There's the ballerina. She's almost a fairy ballerina, actually. So her 2 legs and her tutu and her body. And either arms or wings. But yeah, she's missing a head. She's quite appropriate for Halloween. Maybe she's a zombie ballerina. An eagle face and wings with the body of a lion. Thank you, Claire. I'm also seeing a raven. Ooh, and a... Oh, if I say that, all the anti-witchy ones are going to be after me. I'm seeing a demon. 2 eyes, horns, face, shoulders. He's there, but it is Halloween, okay? We're going for gothic. That's the theme of my book. Is gothic. A zombie ballerina, yeah. A witch nose on the bottom right. A witch nose on the bottom. What, like this whole thing here? I think it looks like a shoe. Hi, Jen. I think that looks like kind of a... This is an ankle strap with straps coming down, with a strap across the top of the foot and open toes and a wedge heel. Yes, the devil from the Legend film. That's him. That's who I was thinking of. Tim Curry. A hag nose, not a witch nose. A hag nose. Here, is this the bit you're talking about? The hag nose. Oh, look at her. There's a hag. Yeah, if you can't hear me, it's just you. Everybody else can. So, turn your sound up or unmute. You might need to unmute. You can see the shoe. Okay. A duck bill. Oh, yeah, with the holes. Like Daffy Duck. Oh, yeah, Daffy Duck when he sticks his tongue out. Yeah. The oracles and the never-ending story. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble getting... Right, legend. Demon. Film. Images. Yes! That's him, isn't it? Look at that. Now, why is it not rotating? There we go. There you go. The oracles and the never-ending story. Right. Oracles. Never-ending story. I might have looked for those before. Yeah. Isn't this cool? You can't unsee the demon's face now. Oh, I'm sorry. That is what he looks like, though. Focus on the gargoyles. And the raven. Look at the raven. Here we go. I have to switch. Moloch from Sleepy Hollow, yes. Or, in Buffy, when Giles turned into a demon. He is very poorly, isn't he? Poor Tim Curry, he's had another stroke. He's wheelchair bound now. It's terrible. Can you see the raven? He's face on. Here's his body with his wings folded down. So his wings are down around him. And his head. And he's got his two eyes and his beak. And this is where his legs are and his tail coming down here. And he's like stood on a log. And I missed the old hag. There's the old hag. So she's got like, it's almost like the Scream mask actually. She's got like hair. And then two eyes. Eye there. Eye there. Here's her hook nose. And a big old haggly mouth. And a big old hairy chin. Probably got a wart on it. It's going to give you nightmares. Stick with your dolphins, love. Dolphins. Think dolphins. Dolphins. Right, I'm going to take a picture of this one as well, so you can play with this one too. Because this is the one I'm going to play with. I like this one. Well, I like them both. But this is going to be awesome. So, let's get a good picture. Actually, I'm going to take the two sides separately. And that way you can print it out a bit bigger. So there's one side. There's the other. Oh, that kind of looks like... Look at that. Feet. hands, arms stretched out, head bowed down, hair, body, bum. Can you see that? I don't quite know what it is. Maybe a wood nymph having a rest or something. I'll do this one as well while I'm thinking about it. If I do it this way, they're bigger and you can print them out separately and stitch them together. Or Photoshop them if you're clever. Right then, let's see what we can do with this. I want to do that raven. He's got to come out. So I'm going to use my carbon ink pen because this is waterproof. Actually, it's bulletproof. Yes, Jennifer, did you get your sound working? Oh, she won't hear me if I say that, will she? Thank you, Claire. The sprays, they are distress stains decanted into spray bottles from Wilko's that I got for 3 for £1. 1 inch in a 100 millilitre thing leaves you 1 inch in here. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to use my carbon ink pen because this thing is bulletproof. It is waterproof, ink proof, spray proof, alcohol marker proof. Dude! It's awesome. If you're in America, you can get these on jet pens. If you're in the UK or EU, you can get them on Colt pens. They're about £8, $15, something like that. And if you're in the nether regions of Australia, then try... hi, Jen. Have you got your sound working now? If you're in the nether regions of Australia, go on Jane Davenport's site because she sells this as her epic pen with her Jane Davenport brand on it. And it'll be cheaper for you to get them from there. So, let me draw in my raven. I need to, hopefully this will work. I need to prop him up a little bit because that's how I draw. That's better. So here's one eye. And it's Inktober, so I'm going straight in with pen. Because I'm brave like that. And now where was his other eye? Where's his other eye gone? There it is. I'm kind of looking on the camera and on the page because sometimes it's easier to see it on camera than it is on the page. So there's his other eye. His beak is here. Here's his head. Beautiful plumage. And his body. And his one of his wings. His other wing. He's kind of twisted at a funny angle. Of course, I'm seeing a raven because I'm a goth, but you could draw a dove or a parrot, or you know, you could even, if you wanted to, you could even have one wing outstretched. Look at this. This is like a wing here, isn't it? Ooh, actually, I might have to put that in. Where'd everybody go? Oh, they're just being quiet. Unlike you, Claire. You seeing the wing? He's kind of sat on a log. I'm going to go back over this. I'm just sketching him in. I kind of want to put another wing in because birds don't generally stand with one wing out. You can always count on you to talk to yourself, yeah, and me. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like that. So it suggests that he's got a wing. And now I'm going to grab my thick pen. This is my brush pen. This is a Pentel Japanese brush pen. Again, jet pens, Colt pens. I don't think Jane says them on her site, but you can get them at Daiso. Or Daiso, I heard somebody say it. Was that Mitz the other day? Did she say Daiso? She's Japanese, so I'd expect her to know how to say it. Oh, I'm going to take the lid off. It's too heavy with a post on it. So I'm going to go back over this a little bit. The great thing about this is you can actually get very thick and thin lines with it. Okay, that's more like a butterfly's wing than a raven's wing, but you get the idea. I need a reference photo. I'm just trying to find a reference photo of a front-facing raven with his arms, with his wings out. There we go. Now, okay. I didn't think that looked right. Wings have to go down that way. That's better. Okay, that makes more sense. And a much bigger beak. The wings kind of fold around like a bat. Murder of Crows page planned. Cool. There's a splotch near the spine that looks like another bird in flight. I've probably drawn over it by now. I have to put my gloves back on. It's a bit chilly. As I said earlier, I've got the door open for the dogs because it's not cold. It's not cold enough to put the heating on, but my hands get cold. So, in the interests of not having hands that seize up on me, I put my gloves on. Oops. bit more of that kind of shape, I think. He's starting to look really creepy now. His face needs to be wider. He doesn't have a circular head. He looks too much like a budgie. Everybody went very quiet. It needs to be a much bigger neck. I really didn't account for his neck being quite that big. I think my brush pen's finally running out. I've got it about 3 years. I like the way the end of ravens' wings look like knives almost. Just want to suggest this wing. I don't want to draw it all in because it's not really there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to find my, wait for it, I think. Don't forget, if you want to ask questions, go ahead, but put them in caps because I won't see them. See this, the spray bottles, this is the kind of thing I use the little lids for, because they don't stay on the spray bottles for very long. And you don't want to leave these acrylic inks with the lids off because they will dry out. Okay, where's my pen? Where are you? Where is my white pen? So this is just a dip pen. I'm using some watercolour paint to come up with colour ideas for a tattoo. Cool. A movie from the 80s. Oh, when you saw this, reminds you of the scene in the Never-Ending Story where Atreyu passes through the Sphinx's gate. Yeah, the oracles, isn't it? Yeah. It does look very much like them. It's very cool. Okay, I'm going to bring some more crow-like shape back into my crow now. This pen doesn't want to work with this ink. Ugh. Not liking that. Nope, it's not having any of that. Okay then. Oh. sucks to be you, because we can use ink with a brush. Let that be a lesson to you. It didn't turn out quite as well as I'd hoped, this one. I should have started with a reference picture. I could see the crow, or the raven, but by the time I actually got to inking him in, it didn't quite work. Could probably do with going over that in paint. Okay, let's leave that to dry and move on to the other side. See, sometimes it just doesn't work. Oh, classes! Everybody was asking about classes. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. That's him. That's what I was seeing in my head. See? That's what I was seeing there. Right. All of my classes are suitable for all levels. I do not believe in, oh, there's beginners and there's intermediates and there's advanced and this, that and the other. I do believe that some people are more advanced at certain things than others. However, I am of the firm belief that while you can be advanced in drawing with pencil, you can be a complete beginner at painting. Or you can be advanced at painting with acrylics, but you can be a complete novice when it comes to pen and ink. So I view everybody as equal in my classes. You come in, you do the class, you do it to the best of your ability. As long as you're doing that, there's going to be some things you excel at and other things you need to practice. That's how it works. I am also a hard teacher. And by that I mean, if you post work expecting it to be, asking for it to be critiqued, expect it to be critiqued. I will tell you if there is something wrong with it, or if there's something that could be improved on, or if there is nothing wrong with it and you're being too hard on yourself. I am not one of those people who will just sit there and say, oh yes, that's lovely, dear. If I think it can be improved, I will tell you it can be improved. But that doesn't mean I'm nasty about it. I just, I just think it's best to be honest with people. If you're in a class, then you should be learning new things. And if you're not learning new things, the teacher's not doing the job properly. So, yeah, that's my view on teaching. If I'm not teaching you something, I'm not doing my job. And I do expect my students to do the work and put in the hours and, do the practice. That doesn't mean you have to. Okay, I don't want you to get the impression that you have to be always there. You have to always be doing your classwork on time and everything else. Who's time for that? It's not school. But I do expect that, if you're going to put something up for critique, that you've worked on it and you've worked hard on it and you've done it to the best of your ability, and that you have come away from that experience having learned something. already before you even get to the point where I'm critiquing it. And so does Maddie. We do have fun in class. We don't, you know, it's not all serious. I like to encourage people to play along where they can. And, you know, if you don't want to do something, that's fine. You know, if what we're drawing this week really doesn't float your boat, then that's okay. Go and practice something else. That doesn't mean you get a week off. Go and do something else. There's like loads of things you can be doing. But I do allow people, or not allow people, you know, you can do whatever you like. It's free. It's an adult class, but I do encourage people that if you already know how to do something, go and work on something else. If I'm teaching how to draw faces and you are already fairly adept at drawing faces, expand your horizons. Draw old faces, draw young faces, draw cartoon faces. Whatever you want. But do something that branches you out a little bit, that you may not have tried before. Don't just do the same old, going, oh yeah, I know how to draw faces. Look, here's my pretty little girl. You're not learning anything if you do that. And then wasted. Okay. Should be restarting. With a bit of luck, you can see me again now. She's back! Yay! Okay. I don't know what happened there. It froze up on me and decided it didn't want to do anything anymore. Well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know how much you got to before it froze. But I was getting on my high horse about people doing their homework, so it's probably best that it crashed, really. How does the classes work? Yeah, I was coming on to that. I got sidetracked. Let me just figure out where his tail and things is going to go. I think I kind of want him to be sat down. I'm seeing this is his belly here. And his feet. And his bum here. So his tail would be that bit. Let's do it. Oops, drew over his thing. Let's do his tail, that bit there, with the fluffy part of his tail down here. Something like that. There we go. He's working better than the crow. It helps to have a reference picture. The idea that most artists can draw straight from their imagination is a bit of a myth, I'm afraid. Most artists will at some point grab a reference picture. Either a photo that they've taken themselves, or they'll get a model, or they draw from life, or something. Painters in the old days used to have models stand for hours and hours and hours while they painted them in oil paints, so they could have a reference to draw from, okay? Using a reference is not cheating. Using a reference is sensible, so that you don't end up with whatever the hell that is. Okay? The good thing is, of course, that I took a photo of the page before I started, so I can print out the page and stick it back on there, and ta-da! Okay, classes, right, come on, let's get this. The way the class works, let me talk about When Frogs Sing 2016, because almost everything works exactly the same way, but you know, that's the new class that's coming out, so that's the one that most people will be interested in. There are 4 semesters in the year, and for next year we're splitting it into 4 separate subjects as well. So we've got flora, which is flowers and trees and stuff, fauna, which is animals, people, which is people, and places, which is like urban sketching or drawing physical objects, or maybe drawing the room that you sat in, stuff like that. Let's say you, let me finish the semester. So each semester will be 3 months, and each month is broken into 4 weeks. So step 1, oh, Harry Potter emblem page, yeah. Well, I saw a snake up here earlier. Slytherin snake up here. And the Gryffindor. And Hufflepuff. Is it? Or is it? No, it's Ravenclaw, isn't it? What's Hufflepuff? Hufflepuff could be the shoe. Yeah, each month is split into 4 weeks, and we're going to do drawing, which will be, dry media, which will be drawing and inking like this, which is not, you know, this is permanent ink. It's not like I can go over it with a brush and fan it out or whatever. So dry media, pastels, crayons, colour pencil, that kind of thing. Wet media in week 2, which will be painting, watercolour, acrylic, ink, wet stuff. And then mixed media in week 3, which will be Hufflepuff is a badger. I don't see a badger, do you? Maybe he's hiding in the log. Week 3 will be mixed media, which will be more this kind of stuff, and then you might add some paint, and then you might add some collage, and then you might add some writing, and then, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's your first 3 weeks, that's your tuition weeks. And you do classes Monday to Saturday. Sundays we don't do anything, because a lot of people want to take Sundays off for various different reasons. And week 4 is a creative week, so you can do whatever you want, you can chat, you can do another class. If you're doing a different class for somebody else, you can go and concentrate on that for a week. You can redo something, you can play catch up, etc, etc. There are very few people, I think there's about 6 in this year's class, that are keeping up with the classes as they go up. And that includes me. When I'm finished with this, I need to go and finish editing the last class for last week, Saturday's class, because I haven't finished it yet. Life happens, things get in the way. I'm quite happy if somebody posts January's classwork today and asks for a critique on it, as long as you don't complain at me for the fact that, yeah, I haven't finished doing Saturday's video yet, because life happened. And I don't always put up excuses about why something hasn't happened yet. You know, life happens, and I don't always share what that is. But I've never missed anything yet. I've never not put something up that should have gone up. Sometimes it goes up late, sometimes it goes up very late, but it always goes up. So, by the same token, I don't care if you work at your own pace. I don't care if you join the class today and start on January's work, or if you join the class today, start on the work that we're doing today and then go back and do the rest of the work in January and start from there. It's entirely up to you how you do the class. I think his talons need to be gold, don't they? So I put up a video, well, for when Frog Sing 2016 I haven't finished working out how it goes, and I like to change it as I go along, which is why some of my classes are late, because I can't prep an entire year's worth of classes in advance when I like to change it according to what people want. So I'm sorry, it's very difficult to talk about something that you're not drawing. I find it really easy to draw and teach at the same time, but talking about something that is not to do with your drawing, it's really weird. I've not done this for a long time, I'm out of practice. What was I saying? I've distracted myself now. It's a lot easier to teach what you're doing than it is to just talk about anything. Oh, I didn't realise that was so difficult. What I'm doing here is just, you know how eagles have bobbly talon feet? I'm trying to get his knuckles in there. And no, I don't know how many knuckles an eagle has on his feet. I don't really care. You can see the knuckles and you can see the big old claws and you can see it's a griffon. Your head is going to put the two and two together and go, oh yeah, that's his talons. You don't need me to tell you that. That is implied in what is in front of you. So it doesn't matter, because the chances are you don't know how many knobbly bits a griffin an eagle has on his talons either. I'm going to assume 3. Like 1, 2, 3. That seems like a good number. I'm liking him. I'm liking him a lot. I'm liking him less as I look at him. We've got a bit of a not quite a distinctive thing going on over here. Not quite sure what to do with that. Maybe I'll just leave it. I'm not going to colour it in, so it doesn't matter if it's a sketchy outline, because I don't need to finish. I could even just shade it. When in doubt, shade it. Here's my reference picture gone. God, what was I talking about? It's so hard to talk about something that you're not teaching. I need to practice this. What was I talking about? Maybe I should stop and read the questions. Can you skip some class components? That's what I was talking about. Yes, you can do whatever you like. If you you're not interested in playing with acrylics, that's fine. But the techniques, I would say to you, watch the videos, because you might find, I know you like watercolour painting and you like inks. You might find that some of the techniques you can do with acrylics, you can do with inks, especially the way I use them, because I use acrylics with fluid medium and water. I don't, see this stuff? It's like water, but it's for acrylics. I water down my acrylics and use glazes. So I use them like watercolours, but then they're permanent. So actually, you might find that just a little basic, I encourage my students to get just a basic set of something like this, the little tubes. And you can get these in as little as like 2 or 3 colours. You can even buy them individually, just buy like 2 of your favourite colours. You absolutely love pink and green. Buy a little tube of pink and a little tube of green, a tube of white, and see what you can do with it. You know, have a play, and if you don't like it, you've not lost anything, have you? You can just chuck them away or give them to somebody else, or say, no, I don't like that. Or you might find that actually you love acrylics and you're more prepared to jump in than you thought you were. So I encourage everybody to have a play with everything, and then if you think, no, it's really not for me, I'm sorry, it's just not, that's fine. Go and do something else. There's plenty to do. I had a couple of students this year who said, look, because we're doing planning for the 3 weeks, we're doing planning, writing and drawing, or art. And there was a few people who were like, you know, I'm really not into planning. I don't want to plan. I don't want a planner. I'm not interested. I'm a bit disappointed that I'm going to miss out on a third of the class. So I said, well, that's okay. Watch the first few videos. Just watch the videos. Just commit to watching the videos. Don't bother with the rest of it. Don't do the homework. Don't have a planner. Don't do anything. Just watch the videos when they go up. Or read through the whatever we're doing this week, because you might pick up something that you think, oh, actually, I could use that for something. And amazingly enough, now we're in October, everybody who started off saying, oh no, I don't want to do planning, now has a planner and is organising what they're doing for the rest of their classes. So they're not only organising the stuff that they're doing for my class and keeping a track of what homework they've done and what they haven't done and which ones they've watched and which ones they haven't, which ones they want to revisit and come back to. They're also doing, they're also like going back and organising other classes. So they might be signed up for a class with Tam. They've got that in their little book. And no, not all of them are massive planners like some of us have got. Some people are planners and some people aren't. Some of them have just got a little reporter's notebook and they've just got a page for each class of what they're doing and they're just ticking things off so they know where they're up to, you know. And they've picked that up from watching the videos because they saw that one thing that said, oh, actually, I could use that. I don't want a planner, but I could use that. So, yeah, I encourage everybody to watch the video. But if you think right now, you know, if you sign up for 2016 and you're already thinking, no, I don't want to use acrylics, I would rather concentrate on watercolour, that's absolutely fine. All of the painting bits do with watercolour. See if what I do with the acrylics works with watercolour, and if not, why not? And you can also, you know, ask questions. Is there something I could use that would be permanent to allow me to do this particular layering that you're doing with acrylics? And I will say, guess what? Yes, there is. You could get some Inktense pencils, which are permanent once they're dry. You use them like watercolour crayons or watercolour pencils, but once they're dry, that's it. They're not going anywhere. So you can do glazing and colour layering, you know, and then you're still doing your watercolour that you like without doing acrylics, but you're applying acrylic techniques. Or my acrylic techniques. I'm not an acrylic painter, I'm a mixed media artist. I don't use stuff properly. You know, you're playing with different techniques from other things, but getting them to work for what you use. Everything in my classes is about play. It's all about... Let me come face to face for a minute. I'll put my pen down then. It's all about looking at what I do and saying, right, what is she doing? How is she doing it? Let me have a play with that. And, ooh, what if? And if you make a discovery, if you do something that I haven't done, you go to the forum and you say, hey guys, have you got some of these? Because if you have, and you do this and this and this happens. You know, you might have discovered something that I don't know. I'm not a guru, I'm a teacher. I teach you what I know. But you might discover something that I don't know because you have different supplies to me. So it's all about sharing with the class and with me and showing people what you've done. And, you know, I might say, oh yes, I'd forgotten to say about that. That's very good. And yes, also you could use this, this or this if you don't have that. So we can build on each other's ideas and we can also share ideas and come up with new ideas. That's how classes should work. I firmly believe that a teacher should learn as much from a class as their students do. You might learn something completely different, probably will learn something completely different, but you should learn as much from a class as your students do. Christmas Chronicles. Oh God, Christmas Chronicles. Christmas Chronicles is the bane of my life. It's an awesome class and I love teaching it. And every damn year I get sick. I get sick in November, just before it starts. So then I'm rushing all through December trying to get it done. And then it runs late and then everybody's like, oh yeah, but it's too close to Christmas now. And then they come back in January, they're like, right, I want to finish my journal. And I'm like, yes, let's get on with it. And then February I get sick again. Every single year. I've been doing it since 2012. It's never failed. So this year we did the planning and journaling because that was already done and I just had to film the classes, film the art pieces. That's why we did Christmas in July. Christmas in July was supposed to be the 12 art classes that I had planned and, you know, was videoing and hadn't edited because I got sick. And I've been trying, they're done, they're finished, they're ready to go, they're boom. I've posted them on the forums no less than 5 times and every time only one of them posts. I posted, because I've got a post scheduler, so I set up my things for the week and they go live at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on the day. Well, they usually go midday here. But they go at whatever time for the day. And I don't know. I don't know what's happened to them. Every time I set up like 3 classes and only the first one will go live. So now I've got to do them all over again, which is just, ugh. I am doomed with the Christmas Chronicles. It's just like, oof. So at the moment we've got classes, I think 1 to 7 is up and I've got 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. I need to find the posts because they did post. They've disappeared from the scheduler. So they definitely posted. I just don't know where. I've got to find the posts, rescue them again, move them back to where they should be, and then post them one at a time. Which is really annoying. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But yeah, Christmas Chronicles this year is going to be different. We are going to do One Book Christmas. It's going to be a collaboration like One Book July with Miss Vicky B and Carrie Harling. Carrie is the planner expert, as you know. She's the organisational mum of 7 and a husband, which I understand is like herding cats. It's my inner goth saying I shouldn't be doing Christmas Chronicles, but I love Christmas. Maybe I should do Halloween Chronicles next year. Somebody suggested that. I might do that. I might do a Halloween class next year. Unfortunately, it was suggested to me way too late for me to do it this year. So I'm doing Inktober instead. But yeah, I might do a Halloween class next year instead. Just do a Halloween journal. What was I saying? You interrupted me now. I don't know what I was saying. More coffee. That'll answer the question. Nope, it's gone. I don't often have days like this, but I seem to be having one today. I'm out of practice. I used to do Wing It Wednesday every Wednesday. Guest tutors for Christmas Chronicles. I don't like having guest tutors. It's one thing for... Oh, yes, Carrie's the planner. Thank you, Ev. Right, Cavi is the planner queen, so she's used to organising 7 kids, doing 7 different end of year, end of term, end of semester, Christmas caroling type, all going to parties stuff. So she is the planner queen. Vicky is very much a writer. I mean, I know she does other journaling and she does planning and she does a bit of everything like I do, but she is very much a writer. And I am more into the art. So what I'm thinking we might do is have, like Christmas Chronicles, we can have a PDF that's got all your planning prompts, all your journaling prompts and all your art prompts. And me and Vicky and Carrie will show you what we've done, or, you know, I mean, we're not going to sit there and teach you every single page because it's not a class, but we can show you what we've done for it, show you how we're setting it up. I'll try and do some of my artwork live like this, and kind of talk you through it as I'm doing it, that kind of stuff. Now, it's not a paid class this year, which is going to be a bit of a hit for me, so what I may do is offer a full PDF, like a proper PDF downloadable, printable thing, so that, you know, for like a couple of pounds, like literally a couple of pounds, like £2 or £3 kind of thing, no more than $5. You can download. Sorry, I've got spray ink all over my computer and I want to get rid of it. You can. Whoops. Sorry about that. Press the wrong button. Professional, here we are. Yeah, you can, like, for a small fee, a very small fee, or possibly a donation of $2.50 for a cup of coffee or something. You can get the PDF download, and then if you don't need the download, you don't need the download, and if you want the download, you can buy it for a very small fee. That might be how we do it. We haven't fully decided yet. I'm kind of throwing ideas out there, see what people think, see what you want to do, that kind of stuff. But it will be like One Book July, basically. And then if anybody wants to do videos or join in, or, you know, do a bit of it or not a bit of it or whatever, then you can do that. So it will be a challenge in that we'll be putting all of Christmas into one book all together, rather than One Book July, where it's all about getting minimalist. I suppose One Book Christmas will be all about getting unminimalist. Doing everything. Right, let me scroll up because I'm sure I missed a question up here somewhere. Can you skip class components? Yeah, if you want to. I think I answered that already, didn't I? Totally. Skip what you don't want. Oh, are the classes live and interactive? Are the tests, etc.? There are no tests. It's not a accredited class. They are not always live, but I do hope, now that I've got a webcam, I hope to do some more live classes. But normally I pre-record a video, like I normally do for YouTube. So you'll have your pre-recorded video. Here's the class. This is what I'm doing. Here's how I've done it. Here's the techniques. Here's what you need. Da 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 da. And then you do it yourself. However, I do not believe in the monkey see, monkey do approach. You will very rarely, if ever, see somebody who's done a picture or a page or anything, particularly a portrait, because I'm so tired of seeing people, you know, you can tell whose class they're doing by what the pictures that they upload to Instagram look like. You know, oh, she's doing Jen's class, she's doing Susie's class, she's doing Mindy's class, she's doing a class with Misty Morn. You know, you can tell by what they're doing. Now, that's good in that it means that they are learning the techniques that the teacher is teaching them. However, it also means that the teacher is teaching them to do what they do. I don't teach you to do what I do. I don't teach you to draw a face like I draw a face. I teach you to use the with, let's draw an oval. Well, I can't draw an oval. Draw a circle, add a chin. No, I can't draw a circle. So I use squares. I draw squares, I grid it out, and then I draw in my face. And it works. But the way it works means that what you draw will be completely different to what I draw. It won't look like a face that I've drawn, it'll look like a face that you've drawn. So in that respect, you don't get the come into a class, do exactly what I do, ta-da, you've got a page that looks exactly like mine. I don't want that, and I don't think you want that. You want to be able to take what I do it yourself, and say, look, I did this, and it's completely different to yours. And different does not mean bad. Different does not mean worse. Different can sometimes mean better. I've got a girl in my When Frogs Sing class this year, and she'll know who she is. She started off the class saying, I can't draw a straight line. I couldn't draw a straight line with a ruler. I couldn't draw a straight line with a ruler if you drew it in pencil first for me. And you know what? What she's drawing now is better than I do. I haven't told her that. I don't want to get her to that point where she thinks she doesn't need to practice anymore. She's reached it. She's there. At the moment, she still doesn't think she's any good. Until she gets to the point where she actually looks at something and says, oh, I did that and it's quite good, isn't it? She's still at that stage where she does something and it's really good. And she goes, oh no, but this is wonky and this isn't right and this isn't right and this isn't right. I've got to get her past that to the point where she starts critiquing it and saying, well, I did this and I'm okay with it and it works and it's all right. I wish I'd done this a little differently. I don't think it quite works here. I should have done this. Once she gets to that and she can be objective about it, I will say to her, you know what, you've been better than me since about March, because she has. But until she gets that objectivity, I can't tell her that, because she'll just go, oh, cool. And then she'll think she doesn't need to practice, and she does. Not because she needs to get better at drawing, but because she needs to get better at recognising that she can draw. That's the difference. No, my thing's scrolled up again. I can't see the rest of that question. Amy. Where's Amy? Are the classes live and interactive? I'm hoping to make some more live and interactive classes, but for the most part they're pre-recorded, they're downloadable, they're all on Vimeo, you can watch them absolutely anywhere, and I do not record in HD. Almost every other class, that's not true, I do record in HD, however, every other class you do, if they've got HD, they will do HD, and then you get these whopping great files to download, which if you're on a slow stream, you can't stream them. If you're on a slow download or a limited download, you can't download them. It's a bit of a pain. I polled my students, as I do every year, and I said, right, okay, do you want big files in fantastic quality, or do you want smaller files in good enough quality? And they all said, good enough quality. We want to be able to download them, we want to be able to stream them. We can't stream big files on our mobile or on our iPad, or, you know, my computer's old, I can't download big files, I don't have that much space. So I record in good quality but small files. Now they are still technically HD, but they're not. It's like the difference between digital zoom and optical zoom. I don't record in digital HD, I record in optical HD. It's a slight difference, but it means that the file is not quite as good quality as HD, but it's a lot smaller. Most of my files are not much more than about 300 megs, and some of my classes are an hour and a half long. Some are 5 minutes. You know, you get something different every day with me. You don't always get an hour every single day. This is how long it is. Sometimes you get a 5-minute video and sometimes you get a 2-hour video and I have to split it in half. It just depends what I'm teaching and how I'm teaching it. The forums are fully interactive and there is a gallery. You can post your work. You can post your work in the forums. You can ask questions. You can do homework, you can not do homework, whatever you want to do. And everything is accessible everywhere. So it doesn't matter what kind of phone you've got, or what kind of computer you've got, or what kind of signal you've got, or anything. You can access my classes anywhere, from anything, as long as it's not like a really, really old phone. As long as you've got the basic smartphone, you will be able to open and download the files and stream them and everything else. Are there tests? No, but every so often Miss Maddie pops up and says, hey, everybody draw me a llama or something. I don't do tests. It's not a school class. I did see somebody asking about, this was way back at the beginning of the last hour and a half of what we did. Somebody asked about teaching qualifications. Didn't see that. I think that's what they asked. Out of the corner of my eye I saw it. I don't have an art qualification. My mum's an art teacher. I never really needed to study art. I learnt everything I needed from her. I also play. I have absolutely no problem with playing. As you can see, I drew a raven that is absolutely crap. I mean, come on. It looks like a... Well, I don't know what it looks like. It's rubbish, isn't it? But, it's just a page in a journal. A lot of people would be tempted to get upset about it, or, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? I've done this, it's terrible. Oh, I've got to gesso over it. I've got to start again. I've got to collage over it. Oh, I have to tear that page out. No, I'm just going to leave it there. It's a crap raven. Everybody draws something crap every now and then. It's fairly unusual for me to draw something crap, or something that crap, and do it live. But, you know, I'm not infallible. I make mistakes too. What did I learn here? What did I learn on this page? Here's what I learnt on this page. I am going to use this like a banner. See how it looks like a ribbon coiling up? Oh, throat's gone dry. I need more coffee while I'm doing this. And yes, I'm scribbling with a pen. You know why? Because the sketchier you make something, the more it looks like it's supposed to look like that. You draw one line. If that one line is wrong, it will stick out like a sore thumb. If you draw several lines, the eye of the observer will look at them and go, oh yeah, I see, it's a bit of ribbon flapping in the breeze. What did I learn from this page? Always always I have to turn it because I can't write that way. Check. Your photo references first. A raven doesn't look like a dove. No, a raven doesn't look like a dove. My raven looks like a dove. It's not supposed to look like a dove. But my griffin, I love my griffin. He's cool. He needs some gold talons, doesn't he? Let me find my... Where's my little tip? What were we talking about? Qualifications. Yeah, I'm not qualified to teach art specifically. I've never taken art. unlike some other teachers, if you want a teacher who has specifically studied art at, you know, teaching grade level and is a professional artist, as in they went to art school, then I can highly recommend Tam Willowing, Susie Blue and Jane Davenport, all of which I've taken classes with and all of which are very good teachers. I never did a qualification in art because, like I say, my mum is an art teacher. What was I going to learn from anybody? You know, she's actually an art professor. What was I going to learn from somebody that I couldn't learn from my mum? I also have no fear whatsoever of playing or messing up. If it messes up, it messes up. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You always learn something. So I'm quite happy to do my own thing. I concentrated on the teaching side. I am a fully qualified online teacher. As in, I have taken classes in how to teach online specifically. I am also a fully qualified adult education teacher, and I am a fully qualified primary school teacher. Hi Kenzie, if you're still here. So I am a fully qualified teacher. And, you know, I believe that if you know how to teach, you either know how to teach or you don't. And if you can teach, then learning, you know, doing a class in teaching or doing a degree in teaching like I did is only going to enhance what you can already do. And it doesn't really matter what you're teaching as long as you know your subject. If you know how to teach, you'll be able to teach anything you know about. So I could teach a class in creative writing because I know how to write creatively. I can teach art, I can teach planning, I can teach dog training if I have to. I could teach ballet, probably not very well. I could teach yoga, I could teach all sorts of things because I know how to do them to the professional level. Don't ever ask me to teach maths. That is not an area I would venture into. But you get what I mean. You know, if you know your subject, you can teach anything. If you are qualified in teaching. Whereas an art teacher can't necessarily teach something else. Just because you're qualified in art doesn't mean you know how to write or whatever. But like I say, on top of that, I did a course specifically in how to teach online classes because teaching online is nothing like teaching face-to-face, which is, again, nothing like teaching live like this. Not that I'm teaching at the moment, but, you know, let me find my reference picture again for his beak. I don't seem to be able to make this one bigger. Maybe I need to... Oh, it's a vector image. Sorry, talking to self. Yeah, so yes, qualified teacher, not a problem. Doesn't mean I'm the best teacher in the world. Doesn't mean I'm the best artist in the world. What she needed to do, and again, Claire did the technical side and everything went swimmingly and we were fine. So, this year, or next year, I should say, 2016... we've got 3 people because obviously we've got dry media, wet media. Oh, is it bombing out again? Yeah. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. But it's saying that the stream is healthy now, so hopefully it's back. Yeah, it says it's green. I don't know why it's saying it's not. I'm going to wrap up soon anyway. I'm getting sore bum from sitting down too long. What was I saying? Next year, there we go. Okay. What is it that's going wrong? It says it's fine. Don't know what's going on. That doesn't make any sense. It says there's no problem. Hang on. Okay. What the devil is going on? I don't know what's going on. Appears to have crashed. Okay, hopefully this is working again now. I think my software froze up. I'm just caught in lag city at the moment, but hopefully it's working again. That is so weird because I have not only, you can hear me, excellent. Not only did I reboot YouTube, I rebooted my software as well. And guess what? The elapsed time on the stream is still going. It's 49 minutes. How weird is that? I don't even know. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to go and shut the door because it's getting freezy. I've got goosebumps. 1 second. Right, kids? Yes? Hello, puppies? Hello, puppies? Hello, Scooby-Doo. Good boy. Oh, sorry about that. It's freezing. Whoa! It suddenly went really, really, really cold. It's been lovely all day, but it suddenly went really cold. Ooh, okay. Ooh, what happened there? Right, what were we talking about before we got rudely interrupted? My short-term memory is awful today. I don't know what's going on. Three teachers for next year. That's what we were talking about. Yes, because we've got dry media, wet media and mixed media, I have the first teacher is dry media, and she hasn't officially confirmed yet, but she has told me that it's more than likely. She's having some technical issues, but hopefully we can get her sorted with those technical issues and she'll be in. So dry media is going to be a collage class with picjed. Yay! Go check her out on YouTube if you haven't seen her videos. She's awesome. When I started teaching art online, I'd done online classes before because I worked for a college, but I'd never taught art online. And when I did start, I didn't have any of the equipment. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know if I wanted to invest in anything because I didn't know if I wanted to do it. And Tam had already set up her everything. So I said to Tam, would it be okay if I teach a class on your site, just so that I can get started with it and see if it works for me. If it does, I can take it further, and if it doesn't, that's fine. And Tam said, yes, of course, come and teach a class Other people did the same. Bonnie Rose Bryan taught a class, and Guadalupe, who now has her own site. Bonnie decided it wasn't for her. She'd rather not teach. We all went in different directions with it, and I like to pass that on. So Pacadai, she's a fantastic collage artist. She does Ustream. She does. I think she's done live teaching demos, and obviously she's got a YouTube. Like I say, she's not 100% confirmed, but she is mostly confirmed. She's only mostly dead. She'll get that reference. She's having some technical issues with her computer, but hopefully she's going to get that sorted out and she'll be able to record some videos for the class. So we're going to do a week of collage, fingers crossed, with Pacadai. Then we have the wet media, and I have a painter lined up for that. I have 2 painters lined up because the first painter isn't 100% sure she even wants to do it, and she's a bit slow getting back to me. So I've got somebody else lined up who is interested in doing it. Again, they've both taught in different capacities, and they've both taught other things, but neither of them have taught art particularly online in a class. So one of them is a paint to canvas type painter, and the other one is more of a whimsical fun type painter. But she also, although she does very basic outlines and then paints on top of it and adds bits. So they're both very painterly painters. I hate that word. Everybody uses that word. I had to look it up. I didn't believe it was a word. But yeah, they are painterly painters. And then in week 3 for mixed media, we're doing something that I just don't do. 3D assemblage style collage, which is adding bits to a canvas or a journal cover or whatever that make a 3D assemblage type something thing. I just don't do it. It doesn't interest me in the slightest doing 3D stuff. However, Claire got paint in my hair is extremely good at it, and she's very kindly said that she will teach a class in it. So week 3 will be with Claire got paint in my hair. So, and she's confirmed. She has already confirmed and said yes, she'll do it. She's my admin when I'm not there. She's my backup techie, everything, and she'll be around for July anyway to do the techie stuff for Di and whoever else does it. So yeah, she's going to be assembling stuff so you can do a 3D canvas type something or other. It should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I've given her a few ideas. I showed her a few bits and pieces and said, can you do something along these lines, however you want to do it? And she said, I've already done that here. So yeah, that's July taken care of. So you'll have, like I say, a week with Pacadai doing collage, I hope. I think she'll do it. As long as her computer holds out, she'll do it. My painter, who I'm just waiting to get confirmations from one or the other of them. And at this point, there's no real preference. They're both as good as each other. They both have taught live. They're both more than capable of teaching a week's class in painting. So I'll just wait and see which one of them answers first and says, yes, I'll definitely do it. And then Claire, who teaches, I mean, she's worked for loads of different companies around the UK. She travels all over the UK doing demos in craft shops for people doing exactly this. So she is more than capable of doing it. She's just never taught online before. So there you go. That is our July When Frogs Sing 2016. And then the rest of the year, you've got me doing all sorts of stuff. Semester 1, we're doing Flora, which is, flowers and berries and nuts and seeds and trees and fruit and stuff. Semester 2 is Fauna, which will be animals, pets, cows, giraffes, maybe. Might even throw in some fantasy dragons and stuff, possibly. Not sure, depends how much time we've got. Semester 3, which includes July, is people. because, you know, I've done portraits classes. You can take portraits classes with me. You can take basic classes with me. You can take sketching full figures with me. You can take all sorts of things that I've already done. So, yeah, I haven't done a class on ravens. I might have to look up birds. Birds are not my forte. As you can probably tell. I'm better with cats and dogs. Mammals. I'm not good at fish either, but I don't like fish, so we might not touch on fish. Semester 3 is people, and that includes the 3 guest teachers, because 1 month I'm going to be doing portraits and 1 month I'm going to be doing full figures. And that leaves another month of, well, there's probably other stuff I can teach, but I've already done classes in it. And if I haven't already done classes in it, I will at some point. So I'd rather give you a bit of variety and have you, you know, dip into other kinds of mixed media and other types of media and other teaching areas. So all 3 of the guest teachers will be concentrating on people. So it will be something to do with people in whatever. I'm leaving them free rein. I just told them it needs to be this, people, 6 days worth of classes. Do what you want. And then the last one is places. And I left places last because September is usually a good month for doing urban sketching, because it's either spring in Australia and the southern hemisphere, or it's kind of warm but not too hot to be sat out in the sun for an hour in September. For the rest of us, it's still quite warm and dry, but, you know, you're not sitting out in the blistering heat all day or anything like that. So it's a good time to get out and about and do urban sketching, or sit in the garden and draw, or, you know, we can draw Christmas scenes and stuff. We can incorporate part of the sketching of Christmas Chronicles into the December class, if you want to. And obviously October, Halloween decorations, and November, Thanksgiving decorations, and Christmas decorations. So that pretty much covers the end of the year. And then alongside that, which is an optional thing, you don't have to do this, it's completely optional. Even your stick figures look dead. Ah, just give them little crosses on their eyes, and then they'll look like they're supposed to be dead. Simple. Try now. Which one was it? Was it Sketch Notes from 2014? I've got a mini class. I've got a. Is your first name Ingvill? That's an unusual name. Is it like Ingvill? It sounds like German or Scandinavian or something like that. Is that your first name, Ingvill? Ingvill Suzanne Hansen. Hansen. What's that like? I'd say that was probably Swedish or something like that. I'm guessing. I have no idea. Ingvill. Ingve is a Scandinavian name, isn't it? I don't know. Are you German or something? Somewhere around that kind of Nordic area. You are? Oh, excellent. Yes. Fantastic. I got something right. I know more about where you're from than Australia then. Norwegian. Oh, that's Scandinavia, isn't it? Viking. Claire's a Viking. Well, she'd like to be a Viking. She's a Romany like me, but she'd like to be a Viking. You can just see her with the fur coat and the helmet and the horns. Got sidetracked again now. I don't do this in classes. I plan out what I'm going to do. I do lesson plans. There's not many teachers do lesson plans for online classes, but I do. What was I talking about? Oh, alongside When Frogs Sing 2016. And then I got distracted by Ingvill. Right, Ingvill. Stick figures, When Frogs Sing 2014 sketch notes, January. It's a £10 mini class. Yeah, it's your fault, Claire. You completely sidetracked me there. A £10 mini class, and it includes drawing stick figures and sketch notes. Very, very basic outline type drawing. Hang on. Impromptu boob shot, sorry. Sketch notes. Basically, when you take a class, instead of writing your notes, you sketch them. So this was the kind of stuff that we were doing, and it started off with basic stick figures and shout outs and this kind of stuff. So if you're, sorry, I can't, Mac webcams, I've got another webcam coming, so this won't happen very much. This kind of very, very, very basic stuff. So if you're really that basic and beginner, I suggest trying that one. It's only a £10 mini class. It's a 10 lessons. And that'll get you started. All of When Frogs Sing 2014 was based on books. So we did like creative sketching, which was based on Danny Gregory style stuff, and sketch notes and urban sketching and all that kind of stuff. 2015, we did planning, writing and art. I'm not rerunning the art classes, but I am rerunning the planner classes and the writing classes. The writing classes are journaling, creative writing, telling stories, doing conversations, creating characters, and doing font lettering. So, you know, fancy fonts and pretty stuff. Oh, I've got my pen caught in my hair. Fancy fonts and pretty stuff, and, you know, learning to do this kind of thing. Coffee, yes. Be right back or goodbye, yeah. Make me one while you're there, would you? I'm going to put some highlights in this gold, I think, just to pick out some bits. Make his talons and feet stand out. Yeah, I'm going to rerun planning and writing, because a lot of people last year said, oh, I'm not really into drawing and I'm not really into writing, but I really wish I'd been able to do the planning. And of course by then it was too late to set it up as a separate thing. Wish I could sketch my university notes and they'd actually make sense. Sketch notes class. Again. Sketch notes. Ingville, maybe what you need to just start learning to draw is zombies. And skeletons and things. Halloween. Make it look like it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, if you're not sure if it's going to be for you, or you want to try something and you're not entirely sure you want to do it, try one of the taster classes or mini classes. Planning and writing. So you can do When Frogs Sing 2016 on its own, or at the moment there's a special offer where if you buy the whole class before Halloween, you can sign up for the other two for free. Not free, sorry, it's not free. Forget that, Belay that. Oh, what am I on? It's not free, it's a discount. It's heavily discounted, but you can choose to do them as add-on classes if you pay for all your When Frogs Sing in one go. Or you can add them later if you want to, you know. They're £30 each, so if you know, halfway through March, you think, oh, I've got time now, I could do the planning class, I'll go and have a go at that, then you can sign up for it then, it's fine, it doesn't matter when you do it. And the planning class is a year-long project plan, so some people organised their classes that they were doing because they were doing so many classes. Some people did a project, like I did the happiness project, which I'm still working on. Some people did a a weight loss plan. Some people did marathons. We've got 2 girls training for marathons, so they were doing their running and stuff like that. We got a girl doing, oh, what's it called? I want to say Bikram, but I don't think that's right. The Indian dancing, you know, where they're all like this with their hands and like belly dancing, but it's more intricate. So she's been doing that and learning all about the history of it and everything else, and learning how to draw the dances that she does and stuff. It's been fascinating. We've got a girl learning yoga. We've got a girl who's using her project to organise her master's degree. Somebody else using it to organise their university degree. You know, there's all sorts of things that you can do with these project plans. And it's completely open. I just show you how I'm doing it and let you interpret it how you want to and change it however you want to. I might be getting a bit carried away with the gold pen here, but I like the effect. And then, like I say, the writing is more for the written journalers. You know, perhaps you are really good at art journaling, but you have no clue when it comes to actually writing anything. And you do all these great pages and you think, oh, I really wish I could write something other than today I got up and went to school and came home and had pizza for dinner. You know, learn to tell a story, learn to recount a memory, learn to recall a conversation with someone. That kind of stuff. I'm loving this griffin. I'm so happy with him. I am as happy with my griffin as I am unhappy with my raven over there. Well, no, that's not true. I'm not unhappy with it. It's crap, isn't it? Basically. You're off to bed. All right, thanks, Mitts. Thanks for joining us. I will try and do another Saturday a bit earlier in the day. I'll start a little bit earlier so that you're sort of 7, 8 o'clock for you. I taught you how to draw owls back in Wing It Wednesday. Oh, yes. This should have been an owl. This actually looks more like an owl than a raven. Maybe I'll turn him into an owl. Maybe I'll just leave him as he is. Whatever I do, I need to get rid of that white stuff. That white is really annoying me. I need to knock him back a bit. There we go. That's better. But my griffin's cool. I'm loving my griffin. He needs this to be a banner, doesn't he? This needs to be a banner. So, like a flying standard. Like that. Again, make it sketchy. Nobody's going to argue with you if it's sketchy and your eye fills in what you want to see. One line you can say, oh, that's wrong. Lots of lines you can't say which one's wrong and which one's right. Let's have some scribbles. Yeah, it is like a caricature of a raven, isn't it? Maybe he needs to be like a cartoon raven. Ooh. Oh yeah. Maybe I can salvage him by finding a new photo reference of something different. Ooh, you know what? The crows. Yes, that's what he reminds me of. The crows from Dumbo. Do you remember them? Yes, more coffee. Somebody make me one, please. The crows from Dumbo. Oh, what is it? They have a song, isn't it? I seen a horse fly. I seen a house fly. I've been done seen about everything when I seen an elephant fly. That's it, isn't it? The crow.